Right, I forgot to change that. Hold on 1 second. Well, let's hide VTube Studio for a minute. And welcome on in, everybody. Hope you're all having a good day. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator. Green screen. For now. Let's get rid of that for a minute. Let me change it. Well, while I'm talking about that, might as well finish the introduction. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. We're going to be continuing the animation for the fire. I hope you all enjoy all that good stuff. My brain is a bit fried, so forgive me if I can't articulate words too well today. I'm gonna try, though. I'm gonna try. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we gotta switch this model out as well. Well, since we're here, might as well just show you. Yo, folks. Hey, yeah, a couple days ago we finally finished off the last plushie model that I had to do for God knows how long. So, might as well show you right here. Where is VTube Studio? There it is. Yeah, finally got to finish off this plushie model. The client is currently checking it out, testing the results. Hopefully, if we're lucky, we don't hear back from them. Because if we don't hear back from them, that means that everything went well. If we do hear back from them, that means I'm still not finished with the job. But, yeah, here's hoping. But either way, I hope they enjoy. Now, let's go back to the actual model. Where is Moth? There we go, and we're all set. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day there, Blobby. I hope things are well. And that applies to everybody else here. Hope you have good plans for the weekend. And always remember, doesn't matter what your weekends are, so long as you're enjoying them, because they are your day off. Don't let anyone tell you how to enjoy your day off. And if you work during the weekends, I am sorry. Alright, without further ado, let's begin with this. Let's figure out what we're trying to set up. Oh yeah, okay, so I know what we need to do. So first, now that we got the entire sketch set up, let's show the end results that we have so far. This is what we got. I want to say, I think it came out fairly, fairly smooth. A lot of, fairly smooth, a lot of, fluent enough, active enough to feel like the fire's rather active, so yeah, I want to say that's fairly reasonable. Also, thank you for the save arcade, and thank you for the hydrate Faye. No wait, welcome on in there, Faye. Thank you for the hydrate Fallen. Sorry, or yeah, got my words all mixed up. Folks, go check out Fallen. They drew their own, they drew their own model. Really awesome stuff. They play a lot of games. They play a good variety of games. Sometimes they do art streams as well. They do, yeah. Oh, also, check them out tomorrow. We're going to be playing Repo with them for the very first time. I don't know how Repo works, so, chances are I'm going to die. Go check out Fallen. Really amazing people. Well, sorry. My brain is fried today. I don't know how words work. I apologize. Words. How I feel? Yeah. How's your day? A bit of a struggle. On the upside, I finished off... Yeah, on the upside, I'm down to one last commission for now. One more that needs to be done soon. Outside of that, I'm also out of work. So... After this animation is done, I need to get back to, you know, pushing for more sales. That sort of stuff. Although, that one, I don't know what it was with this past couple of, well, not these past couple of months, but just this last month, February. I don't know what happened with February, but it was a slow month for some reason. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it's just the season. Either way, that also still, on the upside, it still gave me time to work on other personal projects. But now, It's time to start doing advertising. It's time to start marketing again. I hate the marketing part, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Am I right? Yeah. Just go on Twitter and hard DM sales to people. Oh, God, no. That's what artists do to me. Right, artists. You can't see it, but I'm putting up quotation marks. We're not doing that. But yeah, outside of that. Oh, right. Also, folks, big events are happening for Fallen in the future. So if you want to see those big, those big happenings, go follow them, go support them, all of that good stuff. All right. Now, what was I talking about again? Oh, right. We were talking about the fire. So now that we got this, what we need to do, start making some new layers. But first, let's also find a proper color for this. Let's find a nice, vibrant orange. But not too vibrant. We want it almost red. Or, we want it in between bright yellow, orange, and red. So just regular orange, I suppose. Okay, now that we got that regular orange, though, here's what we got to do next. We got to get our lasso tool. Why? Because this would make things a lot easier than, going through the whole... What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Let me figure that out right quick. Also, let me lower the volume on my end. There we go. That's a lot better. Let's see. Oh, I was teaching myself this tooltip, actually. Wait, which tooltip? The lasso tool? Yo, nice. Yeah, the lasso tool, definitely helpful when you're trying to fill in colors. Because instead of actually going through the whole hoopla of, making the line art, and then, making the lines and coloring them in manually, just get yourself a lasso tool. Just fill in the colors, fill in the spots. As a matter of fact, wait, before we do so, though, we need to make a new layer, and we're going to call this F1. Let's put OK. Fill in that color. We're basically going to do that throughout most of this session. But it's not just going to be making orange. We got a lot of different other colors to add, but we will add the yellow and the cream color later. And that's right, folks, you heard me, right? We're going to add a cream color to fire. Now, why on earth would we add that? We'll see soon enough. Okay, maybe not soon, but you'll see eventually as the day goes on. Let's also snag this whole part. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Let's see. Big brain. I love that you use CSP so much. CSP? Oh, the photo or CSP on Photoshop. Yeah. Okay, as I've mentioned before, I use wait, CSP? Okay, so when it comes to Photoshop, I'll definitely say, if I'm correct, I'm on CS5, maybe CS6. And the main reason for that is because, well, since it's an older version, I don't have to subscribe. I already had this one installed on the PCs a while back. All you just got to do is just use that code. And then also, if you have a code like that for your older versions, don't be online when you do the thing. If it asks you to be online, say, I don't have internet. They'll be like, yeah, okay. You have your code? Yep, right here. Totally no need for an update at all whatsoever. Nah. And then boom, there you go. And if all else fails, your best bet is to fail the 7 C's. Yeah. you know, play that new Yakuza game. Yeah. But in all seriousness, that Yakuza game looks pretty fun. Let's see. That's smart. And Photoshop likes to rob, so take where you can. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, come on. I'll be honest. I lost all respect for Adobe. Well, I lost all respect for Adobe ages ago, but automatically making something that uses your... How do I put it? Adding a program that lets you generate images using AI, that's already like... If there was any reason to defend them before, that was the last straw. That was the last one. Like, there's no legs to stand on no more. And this is coming from someone who uses Photoshop all the time. Don't get me wrong, I like Photoshop, but there's no defending that. Nor would I want to. That's one of those things where it's like, why do you still use Photoshop? Because I have a version that I don't have to pay for, and I'm kind of used to this by now. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Clip Studio Paint. Oh, that's what CSP stands for. It's Clip Studio Paint. Okay, I don't use Clip Studio Paint. I apologize. I tried, though. I tried. Don't get me wrong. Clip Studio Paint is really good. I just haven't been able to. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm set in my ways now. But I will definitely tell you, if you have to pick an option and you haven't gotten used to Photoshop, or you can't find a way to get it, you know, without paying a subscription fee, go for Clip Studio Paint. At least with Clip Studio Paint, they give you the full thing with the exception of the updates. Which, I'll be honest, I think it's a fair option to say that, you know, if you want the new update, you just have to pay for a new version. So long as they don't have to make you pay for everything every month, despite the fact that you paid full price. All right, let's see. I pivoted to Clip Studio for high school and college. You know what? I don't blame you for that, because again, like I said, Photoshop, they just have not been making it easy for people to, you know, run it. In all honesty, I think we lost respect for Adobe when they tanked Flash. Oh yeah, I forgot that they tanked Flash. What is it called now? I don't remember what it's called now, but yeah, I remember that. Funny enough, I wasn't into animation at the time, so I did not use Flash all that much. But yeah, now that I started working on animations, it's like, huh. Missed out on a golden opportunity right there, that's for certain. Yo, Destroyer, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. You having fun making fire? Oh, like you won't believe. This part is the easy part. Now that we got the animation, you know, now that we got the animation ready, now we can actually get into the fun section of this stuff. Also, folks, go check out Destroyer. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. They play a good variety of games. They play the Power World, Last Descendant. There was a time where they played as a squirrel with a gun. Good variety of games right there, let me tell you. And best of luck with the PC. I hope it arrives on time. And I hope it arrives without any issues. That's the most terrifying part about buying a PC, is that, you know, buying a PC, you already know, that's going to be a lot of money spent right there. And I'm always wondering, like, since it's a lot of money spent right there, like, what if you order it, it shows up and then there's some missing or broken parts. That... Ugh. Ah. Oh, also, folks, the fire animation you see here was commissioned by Destroyer, as a matter of fact, so when this thing is done, you'll be able to find this fire animation on their channel, so go check them out. Yeah, it makes sense the way Clip Studio does it. Instead, you just buy upgrades that are discounted. Yeah, basically. And if you don't want those upgrades, or you don't feel like you need those upgrades, you just don't get them. You wait till an upgrade pops up that is so drastic that you feel like, yeah, you know what? I think it's time to pick that one up. And then you literally got everything else that goes along with it. So yeah, there you go. Which is funny, because I remember, you know, it wasn't that long ago, but I remember when Clip Studio Paint implemented that, people were up in arms, but I also think it's because they didn't understand. They assumed that they were doing the exact same thing Adobe was. Which, yeah, I don't blame them. When you hear like, okay, we are gonna need to do some updates to our payment system, the first thing you think is, oh no, you're going with a monthly plan, aren't you? No, you were supposed to be the good one. And yeah, that would suck. But luckily, those fears were put to rest when people found out that, oh yeah, no, it's just update system. You don't have to pay for it, but it's there. Or you don't have to get the update, but if you want it, you know, there's your cost. Which is probably why, well, not even probably why, this is exactly why you don't see any, yeah, you don't see most illustrators or anything like, or yeah, you don't see most illustrators using Photoshop because, again, why would you do that? Like, why would you pay monthly like that? Photoshop is actually one of those programs where most of the time it's usually for studio types of environment. Mostly because they have contracts for that. That's what the warranty is for? Ah, you know what? Fair. That's a good option right there. All right, so now that we got F1, we're gonna go to all the other, we're gonna go to the all the other frames and hide it. So we can go to frame 2, new layer, F2, not FR, not for real, F2. There we go. Meanwhile, it's the exact opposite of what Adobe is doing. But like you said, I don't blame people for freaking out a bit. Yeah. Yeah, essentially. I feel like that's one of those things where, okay, to be fair, I will say this. People on the internet freak out rather quickly when they're not given enough information. And when they're not given enough information, one person will spread the wrong type of information because they didn't understand it quite well enough. And then everyone else is going to jump on that bandwagon because they're assuming, wait, this is how everything's going to work? No, this is a big problem. And then as someone starts to look into it a little more, that's when you realize, oh, okay, so it's not as bad as people have been saying it is. It's just, one person started screaming and now everybody's screaming. But when you really look into it, like, oh, okay, that's, okay, this isn't, scream-worthy yet. This isn't Adobe. Speaking of scream-worthy, I've seen this happen before. I've seen this happen before once, where it came to, what's it called? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, whenever you hear people screaming about something, research. Because you never know. Maybe someone misinterpreted it. Or maybe someone's just mad about something and decided, I'm gonna blow this out of proportion. For example, the League of Legends skin. And don't get me wrong, that League of Legends skin was not worth the price they were offering, but it wasn't 500 bucks. I'm pretty sure we've all heard about that $500 League of Legends skin, and if you haven't, well, let me tell you something, folks. There was a time a few months back where people were freaking out and getting mad and, you know, practically just making fun of Riot Games for releasing a skin, a League of Legends skin for one character for 500 bucks. I thought, ain't no way. No. Seriously? So I looked into it. Like, ain't no way this is real. I looked into it. You wanna know what I found out? It wasn't exactly 500 bucks. See, there was a bundle for God knows how many things, features, cosmetics, other nonsense, plus the skin for 500 bucks. So there was a whole thing for it. Was it worth it? Absolutely not. Now, as for buying the individual skin, that was still $250, which is still a lot and absolutely not worth it. But it wasn't 500 bucks. That much I could definitely say. So whenever I heard people talk about like, oh yeah, did you hear about that $500 skin? That is the dumbest thing ever. I just looked at it like, you know what? You know what? I know exactly how to. I know exactly how to do this. Let me get a specific asset ready for this. There we are. So when people were talking about the whole like $500 skin and how dumb that was, I just rolled on in there into that chat. I was like, actually, it was only like 250, which is still dumb, but it's not exactly the number that you were thinking. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that sort of thing. There we go. Let's get those nerd glasses in there. There we go. Speaking of these nerd glasses, I haven't seen the person that... Yeah, there's one person. Every time I see these glasses, it reminds me of one person, but I haven't seen them forever. It's either that I've been missing their streams or they haven't streamed in forever. I don't know what happened. I hope it's the former and not the latter. Yo, Yuriko, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Imagine spreading misinformation. Couldn't be me. I know, right? Couldn't be Ryu. Absolutely not. What misinformation were we spreading this time? Also, welcome on in there, Ryu. Alright. The skin was for a character that wasn't even good at the time. True, true. However, they were popular. And let's be honest, that's all that really matters. Doesn't matter if the deck is good or the card is good or... Oh, wait. I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. Doesn't matter if the character is good. What really matters is that the fan base, someone has a fan base for it. Look at Melina from Mortal Kombat. There's a Sky Striker deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Neither one of them are competitively viable. They're both getting a lot of attention. Yes, we had to bring it back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. Speaking of Blue Eyes White Dragon, that one, not competitive well, it is now, after all the cards they gave them, but they really pushed for making that deck competitive. As they always do. Also, Yuriko, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Did you know it was Lampy's birthday? No, it's not. Why are we spreading misinformation now? Ari was C tier at the time. Fair. See, that's what I mean. Also, dang, new VIP link rules. Yeah, we were getting too many links dropped for out of the blue without permission last stream. So I was like, all right, we need to nip this in the bud before it's too late. Before things get out of hand, we gotta nip this one in the bud. I know some were doing it as a joke. I know some were doing it, some were doing it as a joke. Others did so with good intention, But if we let this slide too many times, it could get worse. And instead of waiting for the moment where it does get worse, I feel like it's better to just shut it down while we're ahead or something like that. I don't know. All right, let's see. I've been better, but I'm managing. The horrors persist as as must I. That's a mood right there. The only link I'd post is your Twitch channel. See, we're also going to have to dodge that one too. But yeah, let's give a shout out to Yuriko. Normally it would have been fine, but like I said, last time we've been having too many links dropped without permission. And yeah, we gotta halt this before it becomes a whole show. There we go. Folks, go check out Yuriko. They play a good variety of games. Really fun stuff over there. Really crazy community. Really crazy streamer. All of that in the best ways possible, of course. All right, let's see. For sure, I may be a pain in the butt, but I like being here, so I'll behave. Thank you for your understanding there, Ryu. I greatly appreciate that. Also, I don't need these glasses anymore. We were done with our the super nerd talk. And when I mean super nerd, I mean the whole well actually mean. Anyway, let's get back to the drawing at hand. What was I doing again? Right, we were continuing on with the animation of the fire, which is just clean up the lines, or clean up the shape for the most part. And yeah, that's basically it. Just cleaning up the shapes. Oh, speaking of cleaning up. Okay, maybe this doesn't have any good... Okay, this one's a good segue for cleaning up, but which reminds me, I need to clean up this room, though. Probably do so tomorrow. Anyway. I am nearly... Okay, this time I'm legit for certain that I am nearly finished with the preparations for the model reveal. Because I only have to deal with, like, a couple more things. I just have to rig the fire. Of course, I'm not going to go as far with the fire for this one as I did last time. Because if I did, I wouldn't be nearly close to finished. Because that was a lot of work. But we're still going to have it move with the physics. We're still going to have a lot of stuff set up there. Yo, Awoken, thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. How was the art today? You were doing art today, right? I remember I saw you playing Stardew last time, but I'm not sure if you were doing art this time. But folks, go check out Awoken Artists. They do the arts. They do a lot of conversational stuff on their streams. It's a really awesome stream to just have on in the background while you're working on things. And they also, and like I said, they do amazing art. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. And everybody stopping by from Awoken Artist, or yeah, from Awoken stream. Give me a second. Let's hide this for a second. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams. Hold on, let's hide this one as well. And sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those animation streams we're currently working on some fire right now. Highly recommend, or yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, just working on some fire right now. This one is gonna be a while. It's gonna be an animated emote for a destroyer 777. I hope you all enjoy your day. I hope you all enjoy your stay. And if you gotta take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. And I hope you enjoy your stay. Also, Paradoxical Theo, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. Hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're Lampy now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. But yeah, what were you up to? Let's find out. Alicorn Raid? Yo, Alicorn Raid. Also good to see it there. Paradoxical. Anime Genshin. Or Genchan. I was doing... Oh, let's see. I was doing double stuff. So, short Minecraft. And the bigger one, traditional art. Ooh, traditional art. What kind of traditional art? Pencil? Yeah, what was it? Pencil? Paint? Watercolor? Oil? But yeah, I hope you also had fun with the. I hope you also had fun with the Minecraft. Also, I apologize, folks. My brain may be a bit slow today because sleep has been a pain. I have been trying to figure out how to fix my sleep schedule, like God knows how many times. It's not successful. I I I'm gonna be honest with you. I spent most of the day today struggling to sleep because I knew I had to be up at a certain hour. So yeah, it just didn't work out as well as I was hoping. Also, Anime Gen Chan, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lamping now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. All right, let's see. Let's try to catch up some things. Was finishing my physical art trade for my friend. I'll send out to them. It's lined and colored with how do I pronounce this name? Or how do I pronounce this word? A woohoo. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm gonna go with a woohoo until or for now. Oh hoo hoo. Oh, gotcha. A hoo hoo marker. Okay, not gonna lie, still funny. Gotcha. A hoo hoo markers. I'm sorry, I can't. Okay. They say that you can't spell Swiss without smiling, or you can't say Swiss without smiling. I don't know about you, but I can't say that word without cracking up. I cannot say a hoo hoo with a straight face. At least you know it's not going to be a forgettable name. It's going to be one, a very difficult one to pronounce, and two, there's no way you could say this in a serious conversation, like, ever. Like, imagine a news report of, like, a robbery of some sort. Like, someone broke into an art store for some reason to, you know, steal all the supplies and then run off, or, you know, sell them on the street or something. This just in, a local art shop has been broken into. They have stolen all sorts of supplies, such as art books. Yeah, art books, pencils, and a hoo-hoo marker. Back to you, Tom. Like, there's no way. Like, no, I'm sorry. There, you know what? I was gonna say, I hope that, yeah, basically, I hope they never get robbed, because there's no way that the news reporter is gonna be able to say those, that brand with a straight face. Like, not happening. Also, let's see what Yuriko said over here. Just a silly ghost on the internet saying questionable things. Yeah, sounds about right. Also, Mr. Bean, welcome on in. I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. All right, let's see. Not the struggle of sleep. Not the struggle of sleep, indeed. I'll be honest, that happens all the time, though, so... As much as I would like to say, it happens, unfortunately, it happens more often than I'd like to admit. All right, let's hide that. Put this back over here. Oh, actually, since we got the lasso tool, maybe we could just do this from this far away. Who knows? Maybe we can even give it a little more character. Find out. Yeah, this should be good. All right, I know what we could do about this animation here. What we're going to do is move much further away and just try to get those clean lines, or, you know, use the lasso tool around these certain areas here and figure things out from there. I have no idea what I just said. Long story short, use the lasso tool and follow the path. Somewhat. And then we'll just go from there. Yeah, what was the other thing I was thinking of? Oh, right. So I might also have a big job in. I might also have a big job commission this next. Well, upside, big job this coming. What's it called? Big job this coming year. Downside, it's this coming year, which means it's gonna be a ways away. But I'm looking forward to this job. The big model. Yeah, it's a big model project. So I know that one is gonna keep me afloat for a good couple of. Well, it's probably gonna keep me afloat that whole year. But that's not until 2006 or yeah, 26. So yeah, that's got to be a ways away. We still got to keep on mushing, or yeah, keep on moving. Okay. You ever get those situations where you're thinking of like two different words at the same time, but your brain can't pick one, so they just mash them together? That's basically what I had right now, where I was thinking, we just got to keep on moving, or we just got to keep on pushing. Just push forward on all of that. My brain thought of them both. Couldn't pick one, so it just went with, so we got to keep on mushing. You know what? I'm sticking with that word now. Whenever you have to strive forward, just remember, keep on mushing. What does that mean? Well, I guess now we know what it means. It's moving and pushing at the same time. Just mush your way to success. Yep, no, it doesn't work. All right, let's see. Sadly, I have to go, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your stream. Also, I hope you're able to get some good sleep as well. No worries, you go get that. Yeah, you go take care of what you got to take care of, and I thank you for stopping by, and I thank you again for the raid. And I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week, or a great weekend. And thank you, I greatly appreciate it. I hope I get some rest too at some point. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon, but I'm going to try. I'm certainly going to try. Especially since I got D&D tomorrow. And this time I actually got to make it there. I know you'll be busy, but letting you know, this weekend is XP Supercharge in Fortnite. That's also the other struggling part. Like, I've mentioned this before, but there's a lot of games I want to jump into, but time sucks. Like, how do I put it? There's there's like 5 different games. Oh, good lord. There's God knows how many things I didn't want to do, but I don't have the time. One, I wanted to get community, I wanted to try some community streams on Fortnite. I also wanted to try some community streams on Risk of Rain 2. I also wanted to play more of, what's it called? One Step from Eden. And then there's Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. And then there's Inscription. And then there's whatchamacallit, the Millennium Puzzle that I still need to work on. Which I'm planning on working on that Millennium Puzzle. Yeah, I now know a guaranteed time that I am going to dedicate to working on that Millennium Puzzle, and that is going to be next Sunday. Because next Sunday is almost the end of the month, and I think, you know what? I said I was going to work on this month. I need to work on it this month. I also got like I also got a couple of stickers I wanted to draw, or sticker designs I wanted to draw. There's also the assets I wanted to finish off. What else was there? There was a jellyfish model. You see what I mean? Like, the list goes on, and I could continue on from here. There's also like some art pieces for a couple of folks that I wanted to work on. I'm never going to be able to finish all of it. But I want to. I really want to. It's just, good lord. I don't know where all the time's been going. The best I could really do is just work on it all little by little. Just work on a little bit here, work on a little bit there. Try not to add any more That's the main thing I gotta focus on, is to not add more stuff. Despite the fact that there's so many other things I wanted to do. Again, since I'm working on that, yeah, there's also this new model asset that I wanted to add to the stream. It's gonna be revealed, or yeah, that one's gonna, you know, I'm gonna showcase that one during the model reveal for the bird. But after that, I'm thinking, once that reveal is done, I'm gonna need to find some first-person games to play. Specifically, first-person vehicle games. Because I feel like that that model asset is going to be very, very good for a model reveal. Or for, like, driving games, tank games. Any sort of game where you got yourself a spacecraft or maybe a mech. And you have the option of first-person view. Like Mario Kart. I mean, wait, can you have first-person view in Mario Kart? I mean, I know that's not a good idea to have, but the real question is, can you? I do not know. Folks, if anyone knows the answer, can you have first-person view in Mario Kart? Oh, you know what? VR games. I'm pretty sure there's some VR mech games or VR driving games, something like that. I feel like that asset would be perfect for those VR games. I just need to find those VR games now. Most especially, gotta play VR Dead Space. Alright, let's see. It's cool. I know you'll need to complete the battle pass to get Sub-Zero, as there's a lot of quests to give XP. Ah, fair. Ah, I'm gonna miss out on Sub-Zero. I mean, heck, actually, I will let you know. Heck, I haven't even been playing Genshin. I've only, like, jumped onto Genshin, like, once this month. That's how bad it's been getting. There's too many things to do. Although, to be fair, like, whenever I get the chance, I try to play One Step for Me, like, a lot. Oh, speaking of, well, okay, not One Step for Me, but I was also thinking Elden Ring yesterday. So, folks, for those of you who may not know, since Elden Ring is a collab stream, it usually means that there's multiple factors that need to be taken into consideration, which is, 1, will I be able to make it? 2, will the other person be able to make it? 3, will the internet on either side be okay? Needless to say, since the other person was working, you know, it was a no-go, which was very understandable. Work is a bigger priority. Which, not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad that we had to reschedule, because, I'll be honest, my brain was absolutely fried that day, because I thought, okay, since that stream's not happening, I'll just do my own stream of Blackjack and, you know, other animation stuff. And then I realized, or halfway through, while I was trying to stay up, while I was trying to stay awake, yeah, no, it was just not happening. I thought, okay, let me just play some Elden, since I'm already here, let me just play some Elden Ring to keep myself awake until, like, 10 or 11 p.m. Yeah, no, I was not able to stay up. I tried, out to the point where I passed out around 8 a.m. Or not 8 a.m., 8 p.m. And I knew I had to give up because my eyes were getting blurry. Like, I could not read things anymore. And that's when I realized, like, yeah, nope, I gave it a good shot. I have to give up now. I have to drop the ball here. Flops. Yeah, basically. Lurk. Thank you for the lurk there, Paradoxical. I greatly appreciate it. And welcome on in there, Cam. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. There's no first person in Mario Kart? Ah. Dang. Let's also give a shout out to Cam the Corgi. Go check them out. I highly recommend it. Really chill times over there. But yeah, that's unfortunate. You would think the Mario Kart would have... Well, actually, no. I was gonna say, you would think that they would have it, but then I realized, you know what? I can understand why they wouldn't. That game's already chaotic enough as it is. adding all of that on top of it, adding the first person on top of everything else that happens in that game. Yeah, no. Nah, that's just not gonna cut it. That's just not gonna slide that day. Damn it, Fergie is super sick. Okay, so I remember seeing something about a post. I was actually gonna mention that right now. Like, how are things? I hope they're getting easier. Because I know that you had to I know you said something about having to go to a doctor or something. I'm sorry to hear that there, friend. I hope you get well soon. Alright, we can hide those 2 frames. Let's go to the next one. Also, let's hide frame... No, wait. Frame 2 is already hidden, so we don't need to do that. But what we can do is just make this new one. Place that there. Call it frame 3. Take everything that's already here. Delete that. And then start up again. Oh yeah, I also remembered. So, speaking of nerd stuff, let's go back to that. Okay, so I mentioned this conversation last time about Superman versus the Sentry. I looked into the like the superpowers of what the Sentry had, and there was one superpower that just made me think, okay, that settles it right there with that power, because that sounds absolutely dumb. That is the dumbest superpower you could give anybody. Ain't no way. Why would you give it? Okay, one, how could you possibly give that power to any character and still make them lose to something? Make them lose to anything. And you want to know what that superpower was? Matter manipulation. Just with that power alone, you automatically beat any other character. Like, well, I guess unless they're spirit, or unless I guess they're a spirit or something, but under most circumstances, matter manipulation, boom. You got 90% of most characters beat. Because let's say they have like some sort of biology in their body that allows them to use those superpowers, just recombobulate them. And boom, it's done. Also, thank you for the save there, Fallen. And welcome on in there, Mira. How ya be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Thank you for the giant emote there, Nerissa. Let's give a shout out to Mira over here. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. Very funny streams, very chill times. Also, since they're at a, since they're usually at a different hour, you can check them out. Or yeah, like let's say, for example, for me, like whenever it's the middle of the night, there's barely anybody on, but I know that they're on, so there's always someone to watch. So go check out Mira when you get the chance. And if you're a fan of Baldur's Gate, boom, there you go. Alright, also, funny nerf Sentry has is the fear of leaving his house. You know what? I'm okay with that one. Also good to see there, Ivy. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. But yeah, you know what? Honestly, I think that's a fair nerf for a character as broken as the Sentry, which, again, going back to it, after I saw that they got matter manipulation, yeah, I think Sentry beats Superman. I don't know about anyone else, but which is funny because I was one of those people. Before I looked into the powers of the Sentry, I was like, I don't know about that one. Like, Sentry beating Superman, that sounds a little far-fetched. I don't know about this there, friend. Batman versus Superman? It depends who's writing it, but most of the time, Batman. Even though it shouldn't be possible, Batman. But either way, going back to it, once I looked into the superpowers of the Sentry and his you know, the abilities that, or what he's done to other characters, yeah, no, Sentry wins that one, like, hands down. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Superman, but Sentry's got this one in the bag. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, all he's got to do is just recombobulate. Yeah, just basically readjust Superman's matter to not gain powers from the sun, just make him an average human, then boom. Superman loses, just like that. That's all it really takes. And then boom, easy rip in half. That's basically it. All right, let's see. Batman always wins. Honestly, fair. Honestly. I mean, again, if you had the time for it, and you had the brains and the money for it, you get almost anything done, I think. Especially in superhero comics. That's the whole reason why Batman wins a lot of it. Okay, that's the whole reason why Batman is usually known for winning a lot of the fights against a bunch of other superheroes. Because, you know, he's been playing the long con for years. But of course, if a new villain pops up that he's never heard of, yeah, he's gonna get whooped because you need tension in the comics. If you have Batman beat everybody out of nowhere for like with no problem, yeah, that's gonna be a very boring comic. Let's see. The upcoming Thunderbolts movie has Sentry as the main antagonist, as they're sending street level heroes like Winter Soldier let's see, Winter Soldier or the new Black Widow. How were they supposed to beat Sentry? Ain't no way Bucky. Yeah, ain't no way Bucky. Actually, ain't no way most of the MCU cast is beating Sentry. Unless, hear me out, the Marvel movies don't scale in comparison to the comics. Which means the Sentry definitely has a chance. They definitely can write the Sentry to be far, far weaker than his comic book counterpart. Because again, his comic book counterpart is broken in more ways than one, but mostly broken in the power scale. Again, the only time he loses is to like god level threats. Like, not gonna lie, I was not a fan of Null. He sounded like a pretty cool character, and then I realized, oh yeah, they just kind of up the ante again when it comes to these superhero comics. And when I say up the ante, I mean like they're kind of going too far with the powers, with the power creep. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that Marvel's had its share of overpowered characters over the years, but still, I think we need to chill a little bit. I think we I don't know. I feel like the whole overpowered cosmic stories, they were going a little too far. Both Marvel and DC were going a little too far with the cosmic power level threats that were beyond most of the previous power level threats or cosmic power threats. I feel like it's time to get a little more grounded again. Let's get back to street level. I'm gonna lie, street level was very entertaining when it came to their threats. Yo, Kim, welcome on in. Let's give a shout out to Kim. Let's see. Let's give a shout out over here. Folks, go check out Kim. Well, actually, hold on. Let's wait for the ads to finish first. That's the funny thing. We don't know how they will start. Oh, that's the funny thing. We don't know how they will beat him. That's why they're making that movie. Ah, fair, fair, fair. Understandable then. In the trailer, they were showing Sentry immediately vaporizing people into dust. Ah, fair, fair. See, that's what I mean. You never know how it's going to work. Also, let's give a shout out to Kim. Folks, if you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. They do 3D art. They're also working on like a card gotcha system. It's going to be pretty awesome. So, yeah, go check them out. Let's see. Oh, Lampy, I finished full animation. Well, 5 stars. Have to render the regular one. Ooh. Wait, was that what you were working on stream today? Oh, ad break. Oh, the ad didn't start yet. Fair. Check Discord. Ads? Fair, fair. All right, let me see. Discord. Ooh. All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to wait for the ads to finish. And the ads should have finished. Yo, Kim. Do you mind if I show this off on stream? Or would you prefer that I wait a bit on that? Either option, I completely understand. I don't think they heard me yet. Back? Alright. Welcome back, Kim. I wanted to ask. Now, I saw the animation. That thing looks amazing. Would you mind if I showed it off here? Or is that supposed to be one of those things that you keep under wraps? You let me know. That's fine? Oh, okay. Let me go download that right quick. Because that looks amazing. Oh, right, it's a video. I just realized it's not a GIF. How do I... Okay, I got an idea on how I can show this off. I got an idea. Thank you for the hydrate there, Ryu. All right, let me see. Oh, I know what I could do. We're going to switch this animation out for another animation. Where is it? Download. Okay, if we just put that there and then we just show this here. There we go. Folks, this is the animation Kim just worked on. That looks absolutely phenomenal. Now it makes me think, like, imagine if you could turn this into an actual, or, okay, when I say, you know, card game, I mean like a playable card game where you earn cards. You know, basically, you know, like any other, or like a competitive card game. There we go. That's the best way to put it. Imagine if you could turn this thing into a competitive card game. That would be awesome. Granted, it's going to be tricky because power creep and balance. That's always the most difficult part, balance. Because even when you think, all right, all of these seem fine. These seem good. I think we have a solid game out here. Someone's going to break it. That's the main thing. You're gonna find there's gonna be players that are gonna look at a game and say, okay, so I see how this works, I see how that works. Now, how can I make this absolutely busted? I know one of these cards are busted. I'm gonna figure it out. And to be fair, I think that's the main. Actually, yeah, that's gonna always be the biggest struggle when it comes to a competitive card game. Actually, when it comes to any competition, is that, you know, someone's going to want to win. So how do they win? By breaking the game. I want to pull a 5-star high rarity Lampy Mate. You're not getting Lampy Mate. Kim asked for cards. I did not put that one in there for specific reasons. You're not getting a Lampy Mate. I don't care. What did I put, though? I'm going to let someone lead that because I know nothing about TCG. Ah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, right. It also reminds me. Okay, so from what I've heard, if you're gonna try to turn it into a TCG, I highly recommend looking into. Now, hear me out on this. Hear me out, because because when I say this, some folks may already be thinking like, Lampy, I don't think you understand this. I don't think you've seen how that card game worked. No, I saw and heard how the card game worked. This is why I highly recommend looking into what was that one card game with all the VTubers? What was it called? It came out recently, and a lot of people that played, card games looked at the rules and said, this sucks. V stars? Maybe. I think that's the one. Oh, V card. V card. Wait, is it V card? V stars? Something like that. Either way, the one that was I think promoted by Shy Lily like all over the place. That one. Vsauce. Anyway, hear me out? No. Anyway, so the reason why I bring up looking into that is to see, why did people get mad about that card game? Why did people not like that card game? And, what to avoid. Also, look into Yu-Gi-Oh! To see, that one I could definitely say. Look into Yu-Gi-Oh! See what worked, see what didn't, and I could definitely tell you this. Short turns. Short turns. That's all I will say, is that if you're gonna make a card game, short turns, please. Make it a very rare occasion that they can actually do a long-winded turn. Because that's the only time when those turns are impressive, is when it's a rare occasion, and it's more so that someone got into the lab. If it's built to be as long of a turn as it is, then it's not entertaining. I don't care what anyone says. If your deck is built to work like that and take forever, I'm quitting. I'm walking away. Like, I've seen how this game works. I'm walking out. Like, if I see ignites, I'm leaving. 37-minute turns? Exactly. If I see a deck that is known for doing a 37-minute turn, I apologize, like Black Wings or the new Blue Eyes. Because I remember seeing this, like, let me show you a one-turn combo. And, okay, you want to know what's funny? I saw a video. I saw a Yu-Gi-Oh! Video where the person said, I'm going to show you an easy one-turn combo that'll give you the highest results and all of that. Blah, 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 blah. Basically a broken one-turn combo. They literally had to speed up their video in a YouTube short to show the combo. As soon as I saw them speed up the video, I was like, I'm out. Why y'all gotta do this to Yu-Gi-Oh! Every time? Why are we promoting these long turns as if this is a good thing? Why are we letting this happen? I can't keep getting away with this. This is why I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. Unless I'm playing with a friend, because I at least know with those friends, like, we're tired of the long turns. We just play Exodia. You don't have to deal with stupid long turns with Exodia. You just gotta deal with a giant monster that kills you in 2. Maybe even 1. You know what? I'm actually okay with that. You see, this is how bad Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gotten, when I'm okay with a one-turn kill with a single card. Because at least I could say, I may have lost, but at least I didn't have to wait 37 minutes. Lurk? Alright, you do your lurking there, Kim. And I thank you for stopping by. I thank you for showing me the card. And I hope you have a good day, better tomorrow, and a great weekend. Glad Pendulum Magicians doesn't take that long. Shut up, Reed. Had to sit there all day watching that pendulum combo. You know what? That's actually karma. Because I, too, did that to a friend. Had them sit there all day watching a pendulum combo. I said it before, or I mentioned this story before, how when I played against that friend, I ruined I basically poisoned their mind when it came to pendulums. Because they assumed every pendulum deck was like that. That if you saw a pendulum deck, it was going to take forever and a half. And I kept on trying to explain to them, no, they don't all take forever and a half. Just some of them do. Some of them are actually very short turn. They just have dumb monsters is all. Yeah, they don't all do this. Just like half of the decks do this. Which granted, doesn't help the case, but still. Only half of them are this dumb. Fine. Yeah, he didn't listen until he watched Arc 5. It wasn't until Arc, actually watching the anime that got him back into, or, had him second guessing pendulums after that. I was like, I knew that. I was just told him watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 already. Although, to be fair, I've been telling him all sorts of stuff about Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. I've told him about Yu-Gi-Oh's Batman when it came to the Raid Raptor dude. I told him about how Hipster Kaiba was actually a really... How do I put it? Hipster Kaiba was actually a really phenomenal character. And he had a really awesome deck. Which I was very surprised to think, because if you told me Hipster Kaiba was going to be, or I was going to think Hipster Kaiba was a cool character, I would have looked at you and just thought, get out of my house. I just looked at it like, I don't know what sort of nonsense you're talking about, but get out. You know what's funny? This is the first time I pulled the gun out in the entire stream. Whew. We almost had a serious issue there. Anyway, going back to it. Akaba Reiji? Yeah, the DDD dude. I can't believe they named him Declan in the English version, though. Come on. I even told my friend, like, you want to know what his... Yeah, I told my friend what his actual name was. Or his, original name was, and he looked at it and just said, dude, that actually sounds so much better. Why'd they name him Declan? I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. You had a name like Akaba Reiji, and I understand why you would change it to be a more modern or more localized, but Declan? Nah, come on. You can't just name him Declan. Anyway, what was I looking at? I will forever defend Pendulum unless it's Cleese. I'm actually gonna defend Cleese now, because before I thought, nah, nuts to Cleese. I don't like these monsters. Now, I want simpler turns. I want simpler, strategies. I want the no-think mindset. I want that back. I don't care if people say, oh, but that's a helmet deck. I think we need helmet decks in this day and age. Actually, you know what? That's exactly what the Exodia deck is. Prove me wrong. The Exodia deck is a simple deck. You don't have to think too hard. And you just summon Exodia. That's it. I'm okay with that. I want the decks where you don't have to think too much. Where you just cut all the fat and just give me big monster. It's basically that one meme from, what's that one show with the blue cat? Something Gumball. Anyway, it's that meme from that Gumball one where he's like, I think we all know how this ends, so let's just cut to the chase. Pushes the button, explosion. So you're a control player, then a combo. Got it. Yep. Okay, to be fair, I used to try playing combo. Back when they didn't take so long. Because I used to combo off with the reptile deck. I've tried to pull off some combos with the What's that one deck? Dragoonides. I was okay with the Dragoonide ones, and I was okay with back in the day, but now these combos, they take too goddamn long. Way too long. I'm not dealing with all that combo stuff now, because I'm not going to sit here trying to think about what my turn is going to be, worrying if my opponent is just going to quit halfway through, because I know I would. Also, Mio, thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Also, Amayo, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Let's give a shout out to Mio Corgis. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. Very chill times over there. They do the artins and stuff. Oh, Stardew. Hey, how was the Stardew? I hope you had fun with the Stardew. And everybody stopping by for Mio Corgi stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those animation streams. We are currently... Hold on a minute. Let me try to show right now. We are currently working on the fire right now. We're working on the base color right at the moment. And slowly but surely, we're going to be starting this whole thing out little by little. I hope you had a good stream. Also, if you got to take care of... Everybody stopping by from Mio's stream. If you got to take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding or running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you just decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'm at work doing a 12-hour shift, so as good as can be so far. I'm sorry about the 12 hours. I hope things get better. Also, yeah, that's the one. The Adventures of Gumball. Or something like that. Let's see. I'm doing good. How about you? I am fighting sleep. But I'm getting there. I'm trying to fight sleep so I could show up to that D&D session tomorrow, because I missed out on the last one, and that was like 2 months ago. I think the D&D session was supposed to be in January, and I missed out on that one. And so it's starting up again this month, and I have to make sure... Actually, it's starting up again tomorrow. So I have to make sure that I actually show up to that one, or else they're going to break my legs. Send help. Fighting sleep? My bet? Oh, my bet is sleep to... Or my bet is sleep to win. You know what? I'd take that bet too. I'm not late this time. Welcome on in there, Flu. I hope you're having a good day. We're going to give you a shout out as well. Accept it. Folks, go check out Flu. If I'm correct, they're taking a break at the moment, but still, go support the Flu. Okay, let me rephrase that. Go support official Flu. Penspin, Penspin. Thank you for redeeming Penspin. Hold on a minute. Penspin. Thank you for redeeming Penspin. How's the art? So far so good. We got the 3rd frame done. We're just working on frame 2 and 3. We're working on frame... Okay, so we're not halfway done. We got 3 frames done. We just need 6 more to go. Oh, we're going to be here a while. Yeah, we are definitely going to be here a while. That's okay. Hey, what the? That's supposed to be at 100. There we go. Then we delete it. And now we work on the next step. Oh, we're not even done with frame 3. Hold on a minute. Let's go back. I thought I was done with frame 3. I forgot about all these other parts. All these other parts, all these other embers flying off. Thank you for the hydrate there, Corp. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I'm taking a break for a bit. That's honestly fair. We all need to take breaks when we can. Hold on, there's a cat that's meowing like crazy outside. Nope, it's further up in the alley. Can't really do anything about that. Oh well. Are you using Clip Studio Paint? No, but I would highly recommend that one over Photoshop. I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, I'm using Photoshop right now, but I will definitely say, if you had to pick one, go with Clip Studio Paint. Unless you could get Photoshop, unless you could get an older version of Photoshop. Then I think that also works too. But if you can't get an older version of Photoshop, also, if you get an older version, like CS5, maybe CS6, let that cat in. See, here's the thing. It's two cats fighting each other right now. And since they're further up in the alley, I can't really do anything about it. Either, if I could, I would chase them both off right now. Just tell them, hey, further outside. Somewhere else. I can't do anything about it. I have issues with the animation in CSP. Ah, fair. Maybe there's a way to help. Though I don't use CSP, maybe I can help with that in some way, shape, or form. What's the issue you're having? Also, let me see. I was gonna stream... Okay, let's see. I was gonna stream Callisto Protocol, but it was giving problems to make the screen small. And OBS didn't want to pick up the game. So I was like, Stardew it is today. Oh, fair. You know what? Reasonable. I'll be on... Yeah. I didn't try Callisto on PC. Mostly because I heard there was a bunch of bugs. Not only that, but I was like, you know what? It's for PS4. I'm gonna get it for PS4. Like, I see no problem with getting it for PS4. There is a problem with getting it for PS4. From what I remember, Callisto Protocol had 2 major bugs, which now I understand why they had those 2, or why they had so many bugs at launch. It turns out they're... Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I guess someone else got to those cats. Because the moment I went out, the moment I looked outside or opened up the window to do something about it, yeah, I know I already started hearing sounds from other people. Or something else out there. Something got tired of those cats. And it wasn't just me. And you know what? The problem solved. The problem sorted itself out. That's what's up. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Callisto Protocol. I found out a few months back that they got severely rushed. Like, they had to drop the... they basically had to drop the game 3 months ahead of time. Now, obviously, you take away 3 months from a production, that's gonna be a huge issue. Anyway, going back to it. Going back to the problems with each version. PS4, the game loaded, the game processed fine. Loading screen, horrible. Or loading time, horrible. PC, loading time, fine. An absolute buggy mess, though. PS5 version, best of both worlds. Quick loading time, no processing bugs. The only downside is you have to have a PS5. So yeah, no version was perfect. All right, let's see. Getting the frames to work. I should probably watch some videos or something. I would definitely say watching the videos. What's the issue with getting the frames to work? Is it like layers not working on the right frame, or... Because I know Photoshop has a similar issue sometimes where you have to go frame by frame and just remove every single frame off, every single layer except for the specific frames that you want. Like, also, for example, if you go to the first frame, it'll add... If you add a layer to that one, it'll add that layer to all the frames. Like, getting the layers to copy paste, getting the same frame to run, getting the layers to order, getting the layer orders, layers to order correctly. How can you go about that one? That definitely sounds like a lot of work right there. I want to say, okay, I don't know if this would help, but, you know what I need to figure out? Maybe that's what I should do. I need to figure out Clip Studio Paint. Maybe I should try animating something in Clip Studio Paint one of these days. I'm gonna give that a shot, honestly. Next time I have to do a personal project, and it involves animation, I'm gonna try it with Clip Studio Paint. Or see how that goes. Because as much as I want to say what you could or could not do, I don't know Clip Studio Paint all too much, so I need to see what could be done about that. Because, again, most of the experience I have is with Photoshop, and I'll definitely say with Photoshop, I feel like it can be tricky, but for the most part, you just gotta hide certain layers. Okay, I'll definitely tell you this. When it comes to, okay, for example, right there. With what we currently have, we gotta hide one of those layers on on frame 1, we gotta hide layer 2. So we just have that. Let's also hide the sketch. Go to layer 2 over here since it disappeared. Add layer 2 to frame 2 again. Go to layer 3, make sure that frame 2 isn't there. Lose that sketch. There we go. Go to layer 4. I will say one other thing. There's a chance that whenever you're making a new layer, that new layer will be applied to every single frame. In which case, you're going to want to go to all the frames, remove it or hide it in that meantime, and then... Although this might already be self-explanatory, but let's say you make a new layer, it's probably going to pop up in all the frames. So go to all the frames except for the one that you do have, and then hide that, and then boom, there you go. All right, let's see. So what I've been... Oh, let's see. So what I've been doing is using illustration mode and creating multiple PNGs and putting them in a GIF maker. Oh, I see. That's how I made the... Ah, fair, fair, fair. Oh, those are pretty nice emotes, though. Okay, funny enough, that's... Yeah, okay, funny enough, that's basically how you do it in Photoshop. You just draw multiple PNGs. Yeah, you just draw multiple PNGs for the most part. So it might be a very similar situation. Although, like I said, I need to look into Clip Studio Paint the next time I have to make an animation. I know one animation that I did want to make. And it's basically... Let's see. The animation I wanted to work on is basically an emote where Lampy is jumping out a window. Because you have no idea how many times I have, you have no idea how many times I want to use an animation, or yeah, I want to use an emote like that. And since they don't pop up very often, hold on a second. Now that the cats are fighting, the dogs are fighting. I don't know what's up with the dog. I don't know what's the animals, or I don't know what's up with the animals today. I would imagine the animation mode would be more organized, wouldn't it? Probably. BRB gonna take my dogs out? Honestly, same. Gotta go check up on those dogs, see what they're arguing with one another. Oh. All right, I'm back. Yeah, one dog is scratching the other dog's tail. BRB, gotta do a patrol. All right, you do what you gotta do. I hope it goes well. Whew. Thank you for the stretch. Yeah. All right, what was I doing again? Okay, so new layer. And now I gotta catch my breath. I need to exercise more. What was I talking about again? I don't remember what I was talking about. I lost concentration as soon as the dogs started growling at each other. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. In the meantime, let's just clean up these shapes. Make this part a lot smoother. We were talking about PNGs? Oh, yeah. All right, PNGs. Why was I talking about PNGs? I know it was for something about animation. Oh, wait, no. I was talking about how I wanted to animate... Yeah, I remember now. I was talking about how I wanted to animate an emote of Lampy jumping out a window. Because I've had too many instances where there's not an... Or, yeah, where I don't know... I don't have an emote where you just want to bail out on a conversation or run, something like that. Like when someone asks you, hey, so when is this happening? I'm like, oh, yeah, about that. See, the thing is... And then you just try to use some sort of excuse to leave. Or just run away. And there aren't enough emotes that just show you, leaving. And so I'm like, well, if I can't find an emote that expresses that, then I'll just make my own. Now, I'm pretty sure there are some people that have those emotes, like, not so much emotes where they're, running away, but more so like they're slinking back into the bushes. Like how that Simpsons meme is. But I also remember this one GIF. I don't know what show or movie this is, but I know it's a really old movie. Where you just see this guy, he just runs like full sprint out. Yeah, he just basically runs full sprint out a window. And I don't believe this is an action movie. Although, to be fair, action movies have that full sprint jumping out a window scene all the time, so... Maybe it was like an old-fashioned action movie, I don't know. Either way... I want one of those, okay, to be fair, whenever there's an action movie, having someone jump out a window, it usually shows the outside. So you can see the dynamics of them jumping out the window. This one showed the inside of the building while the person jumped out the window. So it feels more like that was a comedy scene more than anything else. Either way, the point being is, I want that comedy scene jumping out a window. I want it to just be a window and just Lampy flying through it. Maybe not even flying through it. Maybe just literally just hopping out the window. Although, as crazy as it is, I just realized I don't have a single emote where Lampy is flying. I have an emote where the bird flies. I don't have an emote where Lampy flies. So maybe I need a flying emote with Lampy. Thank you for redeeming Penspin. But even then, I don't know. Like, okay, so I do want to make a flying emote, but I can't think of anything that would work as a flying emote. And I'm pretty sure a lot of folks are already thinking, Lampy, you just mentioned the jumping out a window emote. Wouldn't that just be a perfect opportunity for a flying emote? Possibly, but I feel like that wouldn't be as comedic. I feel like that wouldn't hit the same mark. You know? Let's see. It could be like Samuel Jackson and The Rock jumping off like the movie, The Other Guys. Aim for the bushes? I mean, I could, but that also doesn't convey the idea. Okay, as funny as that one would be, that also still doesn't convey the idea of trying to escape. That's more like hubris. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. That's more like hubris right there, rather than bailing out of a situation. Also, considering that the emote is supposed to, or yeah, also considering that the emote is supposed to convey escaping, that scene, I don't think Twitch would let me get away with that scene of jumping off a building. Because jumping off a building on its own, like in a vacuum, that scene, very funny. However, using it as an escape route emote, that has strong implications. You may or may not already get where I'm going with this. And if you don't worry about it. I'll give you one last hint. Do a flip. That's the best I could give you. If that didn't convey it enough, don't worry about it. That's the perfect escape. You want to leave the conversation so bad that you risk it regardless. See, that's the other thing. That doesn't sound like it's a risk. That sounds like you hate this conversation so bad that you don't want to live anymore. See, that's what I was trying to explain, is that that's not, it doesn't convey, I don't feel like it would convey risking your life. That would convey taking it. And again, like I mentioned, as funny as that would be, Twitch ain't gonna let that one slide. I feel like Twitch is definitely gonna crack down on that one if people find out, like, oh yeah, no, we gotta get rid of this emote. Like, that's, you know, yeah. That's why I'm looking for, like, an escape route of, I'm not trying to die, I'm just trying to jump out the window. Now, not gonna lie, this shape right here, I'm not entirely certain if it's supposed to be... Even though I drew it, I can't quite remember if this is supposed to be like one solid shape or if this part is supposed to be gone and it's supposed to be that sliver. But since I don't remember, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Actually, you know what? I know what I could do. Okay, it looks like it's supposed to be the thicker shape. I forgot. It feels like I looked up something else that I wanted to talk about. I keep forgetting that I was supposed to... That's what that notebook is supposed to be for. Hold on, I need to write down something in one of these notebooks. Or I need to write down a label for one of these notebooks. Which one is it? Is it this one? This one doesn't have any words in it. So yeah, there we go. This one I need to write down something. Where is it? Where is that marker? There it is. I'm gonna write this here. Conversation topic. So I can remember to write it down next time. Why did I put an S? All right. Well, now it's a dollar sign. You know what? We'll roll with that anyway. Conversation. So next time something comes to mind, I can remember to write it down. I'm not going to remember. But at least I know that I have it. I have a picture for it. Random question. Which would you rather be? Cowboy, pirate, or samurai? That is a very tough question. I'm not going with pirate because you're gonna stink. So it's up to that, and I'm not a fan of water, like large bodies of water, so definitely not pirate. So it's either gotta be cowboy or samurai. And I want to say when it comes to samurai, it depends on what era. Is it during times of war, or is it during the times that things got so bad and they got so pompous that ninjas started popping up? If it was before the ninja era, then yeah, sure, why not samurai? I mean, granted, you're going to be tossed into a bunch of wars, but I don't know. I feel like that would be kind of exciting for the time that you live. As for cowboy, I'm really trying to think about that one. Because it is the Wild West. You can basically do whatever you want. Kind of. With the exception of, you know, other towns or other lawless gangs, you know, coming after you. Not only that, but you're kind of, I want to say it depends. Although those bounties, that does sound like a pretty exciting lifestyle right there. Just finding out like, okay, so we need this person did some things that they need to be accounted for, alive or dead. Just bring them in. Like, either that or being a farmer. I was gonna say, but at the same time, medical sucks, but then I remembered. Medical sucks already as it is. So it's really hard to say. Also, I was just shown an image of a Mimikyu. Well, how do I put it? It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon mashup. It's basically a Mimikyu dressed up as a Dark Magician girl. And if that doesn't make any sense, give me a second. Now, where's the Mimikyu dressed up as a Blue Eyes? Actually, no, I take it back. Where's the Mimikyu dressed up as a Red Eyes? I wouldn't mind seeing a Mimikyu Red Eyes. Anyway, let me toss the image up right quick. What about you folks? Which ones would you choose? Like pirate? Yeah, pirate life, samurai life, cowboy life. I'm on the fence of samurai or cowboy. You know what? You know what? I'm going with cowboy life because I remembered the samurai life means you're working for somebody else. Like your life is someone else. And if that someone else doesn't really, if your life doesn't really concern them, and it's one of those situations of, you know, basically if your lord that you're working for is basically Lord Farquaad from, what's it called? Shrek. And I think your life as a samurai is gonna suck. At least as a cowboy, that's your own life. Whatever mistakes you made, which there were gonna be some big mistakes, those are yours. You can at least say that things got really bad. But hey, you know, those were your choices. You take the good with the bad. That's basically it. I'd go with that. So, at the end of the day, I'm picking cowboy. Because even though, yeah, I'm going to pick cowboy just for the choice of making my own terrible decisions, not suffering the consequences of the terrible decisions of another. But yeah, with that said, I'll leave that question to the rest of you folks as well. Folks, have you had the choice? Would you be a samurai, a cowboy, or a pirate? Really think about those decisions there, folks. As again, you got to think about the good with the bad. You got to think about not just the aesthetic, not just the glory days. You also got to think about the hardships. And the maintenance that is required. That's why I went with cowboy, because yeah, cowboy, they don't have you still got to deal with the fact that you're out in the west, you're out in the deserts. Barely, yeah, you're out in the deserts with minimal, how do I put it? Basically, you're in the cowboy days where everybody's dumb, including yourself. Although, to be fair, if you're in the cowboy days and you yourself are also dumb, it's a lot easier to work with. I just want to be a cowboy because I'm an opportunist to make out of any situation. Yeah, see, there you go. That's also the other thing. Cowboys have more opportunities. They also have more struggles, but they also have more opportunities. Actually, to be honest, I feel like the ones who have the biggest struggles are the pirates. Because again, at least with cowboys, you can make a living honestly. Whereas a pirate, there is no such thing as an honest life. You're basically a raider. You're living on the seas, taking whatever you can from whoever you can, I think. As that one Pirates movie said. Take what you can get, leave nothing. All right, let me see. So we got frame 4 done. So now, oh wait, we don't have frame 4 done just yet. I was a little off. Yeah, I'm actually trying to think, like, what other scenarios would be cool scenarios to think about? Oh, you know what? I got an idea. folks. Which world would you rather prefer to live in? Zombie apocalypse, Mad Max, or Waterworld? Which world would you prefer? Out of all of these worlds, which one would you prefer? Generic zombie apocalypse, drought-ridden wasteland, or flooded ocean, or flooded world. Yeah, that's the best way. Actually, now that I think about it, this is the best way to put it. If you had the choice, which one would you rather have which Pokemon team would you have rather had prevail? Magma or Aqua? Would you want the world drowned? Would you want the world becoming 75% land mass? Or would you prefer zombie apocalypse? Not gonna lie, I think I would still prefer zombie apocalypse. Only asking that question because apparently asking that question tells your character and mindset easily. Oh. You know what? I could see that. Okay, I will definitely say, I could definitely see that. With pirates, that's like a teamwork effort thing. Like, you're willing to work with a crew. With samurai, you put loyalty above all else. As cowboy, you're in it for yourself. Let's see, zombie apocalypse, because the real danger is dealing with other people. Everything else has too many factors to worry about. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's why I went with that one, because at least with the zombie apocalypse, the environment is okay. So if you could deal with the zombies, and you could, stay out of sight of humanity, you might be able to, you might actually be able to prosper. Use the soil, grow your crops, set up an actual farm until people show up, like season 2 of The Walking Dead. Oh my god. I'll be honest, season 2 is what made me hate a lot of characters. Season 2 was the season where I thought, you all suck, you all deserve the worst in life. This dude had it made. He opened your house to you. And what do? Start acting by it like a bunch of hicks. And then the entire place gets ransacked by a bunch of zombies because, oh, what did you expect? All the zombies hear a bunch of gunshots happening in one located spot. Of course, that farm is going to be ruined. God, I hated season 2 of The Walking Dead. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a good season. It was a very compelling story. But good lord, did I just hate everybody there. I feel bad for Herschel. That's the best I can really say is just, I feel bad for Herschel. I stopped watching The Walking Dead because the blonde chick being a nuisance and responsible for my favorite character getting killed. Which one was your favorite character? Was it Dale? Because I know Dale... Oh my god, I forgot about freaking Carl. I forgot season 2 was the season that made me hate Carl. Because that was the biggest meme that came out of season 2 was just, where's Carl? Where's Carl? Every episode, where's Carl? Rest in peace, Dale. They took you too early. Although, considering how the rest of the show went, maybe they took you at the right time. Welcome on in there, Poise Jester. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Alright, frame 5. Let's also say, The old dude who was always repairing the RV. Oh, that was Dale. Wait, are you sure it was the blonde chick that got Dale killed? Because I last remember that was Carl. Because he went out there, he saw a zombie, he wanted to stab that zombie in the head or at least kill the zombie, but he didn't, so he ran away. And so that zombie was just off to do its own thing. Never told anybody about it. And so later that night, when Dale didn't like the fact that, they decided, we're going into that barn, we're shooting everything up. Which, understandably so, but if they're all locked up in there, yeah, that's still a problem. Either way, they were guests, but they started treating it like it was their house. That's the part that irritated me the most. Like, you were guests at this person's place, and you decided, nah, we're running the show now. And look how that landed. That season sucked so much. That's all I could really say is that season sucked so much. Pretty certain the blonde chick, cause she didn't listen to the group. Okay, she didn't listen to the group about a lot of things, but I don't think she was the one that resulted in him getting killed, because again, he walked off on his own, and he got killed by that same zombie that Carl failed to kill. But I know she was also a nuisance for other reasons. I forgot what other reasons there were, but she was also very annoying. And then you had Shane over there, the Punisher, which was funny because I remember that season. And when my friend was telling me how they hated Shane because she saw most of the season, or she already saw several parts of the seasons, I was like, what? Shane? Oh, come on. I mean, I know he's kind of a wet nap, but come on. He's not that bad. And then I saw that episode where he shot Otis in the leg, and I was like, come on, man. I was vouching for you and everything. And then I had to go back to my friend with absolute shame and just tell them, yeah, I was wrong. He sucks. Like, I was really rooting for him. I was really trying to defend the dude. And then it turns out, like, I see that episode, like, dang it. Also, ad starts in a minute. I'll take your word for it, because it was a long time ago. Yeah, although I won't deny, like I said, I won't deny, she was definitely one of the really annoying characters there. And there was a lot of factors that got Dale killed. For one, the group was kind of being a bit dumb. Arrogant, over-imposing. The list goes on. Dale had enough of it, went outside, and then got by that zombie, or then got by that zombie that, Coral shouldn't have been out there, like, looking for. Because if I'm correct, he was trying to look for a zombie to kill, so he could prove to himself that he could, despite the fact that everyone was telling him, stay at the barn. Carl, for Christ's sake, stay at the barn. He was like, nah, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna do my own thing. And then he gets Dale killed. Alright, let's see. Speaking of Punisher, the new Daredevil Born Again is good so far. The gore wasn't softened. Oh. The gore wasn't softened, by the way, regardless of it being a Disney property, by the way. Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Gotta check out that Daredevil one then. Because, yeah, not gonna lie, as soon as, it got picked up by Disney, that's when worries started to fester. But then again, like I said before, so was Deadpool and Wolverine, and they they pulled no punches on Deadpool and Wolverine, from what I last remember hearing. Which also reminds me, I need to watch that movie. Because I told my friend, I already mentioned that part, but yeah, I told my friend that I was going to give them the recap like they've been doing for me whenever they were watching JoJo. I was going to do the same thing for them. Just pause the movie a couple of times, message to them back, like, so I saw this. That sort of nonsense. Figure things out from there. Oh, speaking of that, I just remembered. So, going back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, there's I've mentioned this before about how one of my friends, they really hate whenever I use this one monster effect, which is just every time they play a card, burn them. Or every time they activate an effect, I burn them. They hate it whenever I do that. I found out that Yu-Gi-Oh! Gave Flame Swordsman a robot version, like the Flame Metal Swordsman or the Metal Flame Swordsman, something along those lines of a name. Apparently that Flame Swordsman has the exact same effect, where it's just every time your opponent plays something, burn them for 500. And I'm just thinking, oh, I'm definitely putting that card. I'm playing that card. I am legit playing that card. As soon as it comes in a Master Duel, I'm gonna tell my friend about it. Actually, I'm not even gonna tell my friend. I'm just gonna be like, hey, you want to get a game of Master Duel? They'll probably already see like a burning effect popping up a mile away, but they won't know when the Flame Swordsman comes out. Like, I summon my Flame Swordsman. Like, what does that do? Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out. As soon as they play a card, like, hey. You remember Red Eye's Flare Metal? Why? And then that's when they get hit by the burn. Like, yeah, apparently Flame Swordsman got a card like that too. I can't wait. Funny enough, there was one time where I actually killed my... Actually, not even that I killed my opponent. My opponent killed themselves like this. Where I summoned... Yeah, I summoned a Red Eye's Flare Metal, and like I said before, whenever they play a card, they get hit by 500. And since they decided to play a combo deck, and completely ignored the fact that, yeah, they basically just disregarded the thing about me burning them every time they did, they just kept on going, combo after combo, effect after effect after effect, and I'm just looking at it just with absolute anxiety at the same time, because I'm thinking, I'm gonna let them just keep going, but I'm worried that they might they might take out my monster before their life points are gone. But I want to see how this plays out. So I'm just watching their life points dwindle little by little by every single move they make, and I'm just thinking, I don't know what's going on here, but I feel like either they're going to just roast themselves on this barbecue right now, or they're preparing to wipe me out in this one turn. And if they're preparing for that, I am very, very worried. It's like when you see your opponent take the Max C challenge. If you don't know what the Max C challenge is, it's basically, what's Max C? You you drop this card, and every time your opponent special summons a monster, you draw a card. And now most of the time, people get mad about that, and they just stop their turn halfway through because they don't want you getting all those cards. But then there's those lunatics, those legends, those madmen, and women, and whatever else you want to refer to yourself as. They decide, you want all those cards? Take them. They decide that they're gonna summon like crazy, to the point where you have drawn every single card in your deck. So when they end their turn, you lose. That is the Max C challenge. You either get them to draw their entire deck, or you just gave them their, and you either make them lose in the next turn by making them draw out, or you basically give them their entire deck, and now they have all the options to play. And so now you're just kind of like, well, here we go. You just watch your opponent just absolutely decimate you, because now they have their entire deck in their hand, and they're able to play everything now. So whenever you see that Max E challenge go down, you're probably worried for a second. You're hoping that they don't get to every single card. You're hoping that they at least leave you with one. That's how I felt whenever watching that person just full-on burn effect, or go through all their combos regardless of the burn effect. It just made me think, like, okay, I'm either going to kill them, or they are going to absolutely destroy me in the next turn. Luckily, they burned themselves to a crisp. And it also didn't help that half of their effects made them pay 600 of their own life points. So instead of taking 500, they were taking 11 for a lot of effects. That's what also made me worried halfway through. But yeah, luckily, at the end of the day, they just, they went a little overboard. And yeah, just watch the person just commit self-immolation. Or self-immolation? Either way, basically, they just burned themselves. And you know what? That was pretty satisfying. Okay, without context, or if you just take that last sentence without, or those last couple of sentences without the rest of the context, that sounds horrible. Oh, right, I almost forgot to say. Apologies, folks. Yeah, the fire part right here today. Yeah, this is going to be, how do I put it? It's going to take some time. Especially since we got to do about 9 frames of this. Although, we're down to the last 4 frames, so we're getting there. Oh, let's see. Love doing live reactions with friends. It's funny seeing them react in certain stories or games. Yeah. Honestly, I agree with that one wholeheartedly. Like, again, when my friend was reacting to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like, they reacted to the entire series from part 1 to part 6. And that was a roller coaster all on its own, because they had no... again, I envy them for this one, because they had no clue about any of the parts. They had no information. They went into each part absolutely blind. So when certain characters, kicked the bucket, they were in absolute shock. And I'm just sitting there just thinking, I don't want to say anything, but I can't wait for a certain point. I can't wait for this part. I can't wait for that part. Oh man, when they get to part 6. That's gonna be a roller coaster right there. Which was funny because there was a certain part where it kind of got slow in part 6. And my friend just kind of stopped for a while. I'm like, I asked my friend, like, so how you like a part 6 so far? He's like, it's whatever. I kind of stopped halfway through, like, where did you stop at? They told me which part they stopped at, and without spoilers, I'm not gonna say where, but I'll just definitely tell you, like, they stopped at the 75% point. Maybe even the 80% point. And I just thought, dude, are you serious? You stopped now? Like, Yeah, it was kind of getting a little slow, like keep going. Just keep watching. Like, why? Just keep watching. I can't say anything, but keep watching. You're almost there. That's all I can say is you're almost there. Like, yeah, okay. Took several months, but they eventually continued that last part of JoJo's, and like I said, without spoilers, holy moly, their reaction. I'm like, I envy you for that one because I got spoiled on part 6 ages ago. And so for them to just kind of just walk into it, no information at all whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah. I'm back. Welcome back, Beck. Yo, Amaya, how you be? I hope the patrol went well. I cracked up when a friend of mine's emotional roller coaster during Bites the Dust arc because of a particular favorite character of theirs. Oh, yeah. I can definitely tell you, the friend that I had watching it, the only response they could really give me through the Bites the Dust arc was their main response throughout all of this was, wait, what? Like, explain. And I'm like, just keep watching. Like, what is all that? What just happened? Like, just keep watching. Oh, right. And the scene before the Bites the Dust arc. That one, you know what? I was waiting for my friend to get to that part too, because I'm like, this is going to be one of the weirdest scenes you ever seen. And this is going to be hilarious when they see it. Yep, to get a winery. Oh, let's see. Starting to get a winery mix here. Ah, nice, nice, nice. Oh, wintry mix here. What's a wintry mix? I keep getting messages saying, oh, that, yeah, I know, right? Snow and rain at the same time. Oh, fair, fair, fair. Snow and rain? That, not gonna lie, that actually sounds... If you're inside the house, or if you're inside a building, that sounds pretty nice to see. If you're outside, that sounds horrible. Because that just... Wouldn't that mean that the water, the rain freezes on you on impact? I don't know. But I feel like the rain would freeze on you. I have to go outside to check doors? Oh, it doesn't? Oh. Actually, it doesn't sound so bad then. Yeah, I assume that it would just freeze on you like that, but if it doesn't, then, you know, okay, that don't sound so bad. Right, F4 needs to be F5. No, F6. Wait, F4, F5. All right. The wind gets more than the mocks. Ah, wait, what's mocks? I'm gonna say something, but it's too bizarre out of context. Yeah, not to mention it could be potential. Yes! Apologies there, folks. It could be potential spoilers, because I know there are some folks I haven't seen throughout all the parts. Gesundheit, thank you, I greatly appreciate that. But yeah, that's why whenever I'm talking about JoJo's, I try to speak as vague as I possibly can, because I don't want to get into any specifics. But yeah, I could definitely tell you, honestly, there's a lot of scenes without context sound really, really... It's hard to explain with words. Someone clip that sneeze? Go ahead, take it. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Going back to it, there's a lot of scenes in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where they're essentially the scenes that someone's probably going to walk in on. They're the classic anime scene. They're the classic anime scene where the rest of the show is just fine, but as soon as someone walks in while you're watching that anime, it gets really, really weird. And then you have to explain yourself. Like it's not what you think. It's not what you think. This is just how do I explain this? It's one of those moments. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure definitely has a lot of those moments. I don't want to say it because I don't want Twitch to bonk me or this channel. Ah, fair. So it's one of those scenes. Fair. All right, let's rename this sucker. We're going to name it to... Oh, wait, we just go back here, back there. No, wait, that one's scene 5. This one needs to be F6. And then we need to save. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, when a parent walked in on me when Tizio and Squallow were too comfortable with each other. You know what? I gotta say, that's not as bad as the... Oh, you know what? I feel like that's one of the okay. Well, I guess it depends. It could be worse. At least it wasn't the magnet scene with Joseph and Avdol. Or even worse, the bathroom scene with Kira and what's the kid's name? Because again, that scene without context, actually despite the fact that you know the context of that scene, it still looks really, really bad. It still looks like a really, really bad scene. It's like, just watching it by myself, I was like, I am not okay with this right now. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as most people would think, because it didn't take that route, but it was still pretty bad. It was still pretty bad. And again, it's just one of those scenes where I'm glad that nobody walked into the room while I was watching that scene, because I'm like, no, what is this? No. Since you said it, I was about to refer to that Kira scene, so thank you for saying it for me. Yeah, basically. That's what I was saying. Or that's what I was saying, like, though they walked in on you during the Tizio and Squallow scene, at least it wasn't the Kira scene. At least it wasn't that Kira scene. Although I got to see 2 different people blind react to that one in real life. One friend, they were asking me, like, what on earth am I watching? I'm like, I don't know how to put it to you. I don't know how to explain it. But, yeah. And then when the scene was over, it was like, oh, thank God, he just killed him. Yeah. Yeah, that's... To think that fate, or, you know, for that outcome is a relieving point. Like, oh, thank God, that's all he did. That's... I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you for the save. Like, you know, it's a really weird scene when someone gets killed at the end of it and you're like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. That whew, had me worried for a second there. Yeah. I would have said father-son bonding time. I didn't know how to explain it because, like I said, at that time I was like, yeah, so, yeah, yeah. However, when my second friend saw it, the one that was giving me updates of their experience watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and when they got to it, they just started yelling at me like, what is this? What's going on? Why? I'm like, I couldn't even answer them. I just couldn't stop cracking up. Yes, yeah, you know what? They had the appropriate response for all of that. Like, why? Now I gotta wait for part 7. Although, to be fair, I don't know too much about part 7, so I'm gonna be right there with them, watching it somewhat blind. They unfortunately learned about one other part. So I guess they're not entirely going into part 7 blind, because they found out about the Diego thing. I'm not going to explain that, but for those of you that know, you know. For those of you that don't know, don't worry about it. When you get to part 7, you'll know. Also, I think the music stopped. I got to bring that back. But yeah, they kind of got... Unfortunately, they got spoiled by one of the JoJo games. They were playing Eyes of Heaven, I think. Oh no, the music's still going. But yeah, since they were watching... since they were playing that one of the stands got spoiled for them. I'm like, dang, game. Got ruined it for them like that. However, they got to see Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Or as the English translation goes, a 20 is a 20. That part cracked me up when they saw that one. I don't remember their exact reaction, but I was just telling them that one. As soon as they brought it up, I was like, oh, did you see the memes about it? Like, what memes? Hold on a minute. Let me go get those ones. I gotta go find Dimes for Crimes. Filthy Axe at a reasonable price. Questionable actions. Yeah, questionable actions. Yeah. How did it go? Questionable actions for backyard sale prices. Or something along those lines. I don't know, but the list went on. And then there was bad for cash. Like, they started getting more and more sophisticated, and then halfway through, or yeah, nearing the end, they were just like, you know what? Forget the sophistication. Let's just get done with this. You know what? I know that, Yo, Timma, thank you for the 100 bits. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Let's give a shout out to Timma. I was gonna say, I feel like I need to do another dedicated JoJo stream, where I'm doing some drawing, but I'm mostly talking about all the JoJo stuff. So I don't have to worry about spoilers. I just go through everything, talk about it all. Maybe not so much part 9, because I haven't read too much about that one. I didn't pay too much about part 9, but I probably need to get to that one too. Also, folks, go check out Timma. They usually, yeah, they play a good variety of games. It's usually horror-esque games. And despite the fact that they're usually playing a lot of horror-esque games, a really, really chill time over there. People get spoiled JoJo, but it's so obscure and weird, with or without context. True, but then you have the really big spoilers that it doesn't matter with or without context when you find out, like, dang, are you gonna tell me that part about the main villain? Or why you gotta tell me this character dies? Or that happens to that character? Or, you know, what happens in part 6? Yo, Brycer, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. But yeah, that's why I don't want to bring up a lot of spoilers, because again, like I said, I envy my friend for being able to see a lot of the parts spoiler free, get that one like first-hand experience with absolutely no clue what's going on. It's like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could see like well, I can't really talk about them, but there's a lot of scenes where I'm thinking, if I didn't know that those would have happened, that would have been absolutely wild to experience. And that's why I envy my friend, because they got to experience something that I'll never get to. Watching JoJo's blind. For the most part. With the exception of some parts in part 3, because they, let's be honest, when you know like, I feel like everybody knows what happens in part 3 before they even get into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, some folks might not. In which case, I wouldn't say too much. I would leave that one alone. Like, just to be safe, there might be some situations where some folks might know what happens in part 3, but just to be safe, I ain't telling them nothing. Let's see. Life's good? Nice, nice, nice. I'm glad to hear that life's going well. I'm glad to hear that life is good and fun. That's always a good sign. Yeah, I ran out of stuff to talk about. This is like I'll be honest, this is like the 4th time I ran out of things to say. Yeah, I want to say about the 4th time today. I'm looking at things like, I think I talked about everything. I talked about the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I talked about JoJo's. I haven't talked about Pokemon yet. Although, you know what? There is that. I mean, okay, so me and my brother have been watching a lot of stuff about Pokemon cards and how ridiculous the what's it called? That one thing. The scalpers. That's the one. How ridiculous things have been going with the scalpers, where people are literally just lining up in stores and just emptying the shelves, bogarting cards, waiting for them to, you know, mark up in price. It sucks because I know my brother has been looking at Target and other shops online thinking, maybe I could pick them up here. Nope, already sold out. And apparently Target also does this thing where they have secondary sellers. I don't know what that's all about, but apparently you could sell at Target. Online, at least. Where if you got the supply, set it up on Target somehow. I'm not exactly sure how they do it, but apparently if you got the supply, you could set it up on Target, set it up as your own price, which means whenever you look online whenever you look online on Target and you see things available, chances are it's because, you know, someone else has the product and they're selling you said product. And I think that sucks. Because, you know, I feel like that's enabling. I mean, granted, on one hand, That gives people more opportunities to make money out there, especially when jobs are getting more and more scarce. But on the other hand, this scalping thing happens where people are literally just waiting for the trucks to roll in, knowing exactly what day and what hour the trucks roll in, and so they're just waiting out line like it's a Bon Jovi concert. Wait, do people wait for Bon Jovi anymore? I don't know. Yo, Not Evil, welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Let's give a shout out. We were just talking about Pokemon and scalpers. How things be. What were you playing? Are you playing Repo? Or are you playing the Minecrafts? Let's find out. And everybody stopping by from Not Evil Stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized Moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. We are currently animating Fire. We got a long way to go, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely, little by little. And I hope you all have a good day. I hope you all enjoy your stay. And if you got to take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. And I hope you enjoy your stay. And how was the Minecraft? I hope it was chill. I hope it was fun. I hope it went well. Let's see. All the homies hate the scalpers. Make money off who, though? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering. I don't know how they make the money, but there are some folks that are just willing to say, you know what? I'm gonna just buy it. It's an investment, bro. You just have to be smart about it. Or, you know... Oh, that's it. Or, you know, don't be greedy about it. Yeah, easier said than done, because they're... The worst part is they're going to make money. That's why the scalpers still exist. That's the worst part. If they weren't making bank, they wouldn't be scalping. And that's the unfortunate truth about it. That's why we have high prices in the... That's why we have ridiculous prices when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And why we just don't have any supply in Pokemon cards. Because for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, people know that others will spend a lot of money for that. For some reason. Like, there was a card in Yu-Gi-Oh that was worth about $1,000 because it was the 10,000th card ever printed. And I don't mean, how do I put it? The 10,000th version of a card that was ever printed. Not like literally the 10,000th card. If it was literally the 10,000th card, nobody would care. But since it was the... Oh, that's what it was. It was the 10,000th card introduced into the game. That's what it was. Because of that, it got very, very expensive. There's been a raid? Oh no, Not Evil's right there. But yeah, I hope you had fun with the Minecraft there, Not Evil. I think I gave a shout out. I might have accidentally gave a shout out during the ads. I was trying to say raid and ads, and it just came out to say it. And I didn't say that word. Either way, we're going back to the other topic. Anyway, going back to that 10,000th card ever introduced in the game, because it was so rare, they put it at a higher... Yeah, they put it at a very, very high rarity. Because of that, that card was worth like about $1,000, maybe even $2K. And I thought, ain't nobody just gonna walk into a store and just buy a card for $1,000. That wouldn't make any sense. Like, why would you spend so much money on a card that's worth $1,000? I literally saw it happen once. They walked in, they told the shopkeeper, yeah, they told the shop owner, yeah, I'm the guy that called earlier about that one card. He brings it out. Card right there. $1,000 card. Just, bought it right there on the spot. I was looking at it like, Ain't no way someone just bought this. Ain't no way someone just spent $1,000 on cardboard right now. Ain't no goddamn way this just happened. And so, yeah, this is what I mean by if there is a market for it, doesn't matter how expensive it's going to be, someone is going to pay that price. That's why we have scalpers. And this is why we have overly expensive Yu-Gi-Oh cards. $1,000 on a playing card, yes. Also, thank you for the hydrate, the posture check, and the stretch there, Destroyer. And I know exactly what that means. So I hope you have a good day. Better tomorrow. Yeah. And a great weekend. And best of luck on the PC. You got this, I believe. It is that time, y'all. Have a great night. Fire looking, right? Yeah, fire looking lit. Yeah, I'm glad that you like it. All right, let's see. Remember when Prime Cosmo expensive card cost around $500 per card and it's required to own a set? Was that the big spaceship? I'm trying to remember. What was the name of was it Cosmo Destroyer? Okay, ironically, or as funny enough as it is, I think there was a monster called Cosmo Destroyer. It was giant, like it was a giant spaceship. I think it was like Darth Maul's spaceship. Oh right, for those of you that don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh had an archetype called Cosmo, which was a mashup between two different franchises. Okay, not franchises. Two different movies. Star Wars and The Wizard of Oz. I kid you not. This is a legit deck. It was also very competitive. You had a Cosmo Farm Girl, which was a mashup of Dorothy and Luke Skywalker. You had Cosmo Dark Witch, which was a mashup of Darth Vader and the Wicked Witch of the East? West? One of those two. Then you had you just had some other oh right, I forgot. You had the mashup of the X-Wing and Dorothy's red shoes. The red slippers. I kid you not. It was literally a red spaceship. It was a red fighter jet. And the list goes on. There was also a field card called the Emerald City. Not gonna lie, that was a really fun deck. Gameplay wise, it was torture. It was torture because when you knew that card pop, when you knew you were dealing with that deck, you knew you were going to lose that turn. But it was a fun concept. I really like the concept of the Wizard of Oz / Star Wars. All right, let's see. Yes, the big ship one. Ah, fair. Then yeah, I remember those times. Wait, it was $500? Jesus. Are you sure it was 500? I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, actually, I am a little surprised, but I can believe it. But I don't remember Cosmos being that. Okay, actually, you know what? I take it back. I do remember Cosmos being that expensive because I remember this was also around the same time that there was a card that I really wanted from a Red Eyes deck. Red Eyes was not competitive, and this card was not that great. It was very helpful for Red Eyes. It was called Redstone of Legend, or Blackstone of Legend. Yeah, it was Blackstone of Legend. It let you just get any Red Eyes you normal summoned it, attributed itself to get any Red Eyes monster from your deck to the field, or any level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck to the field. And under most circumstances, it was okay at best. Or yeah, it was okay at best. Pretty bad at worst. You could play a Red Eyes deck without it, but it was still very helpful to have. $30 per card. And it wasn't even competitive. I know a lot of people were mad about that card because I was one of them that was mad. Like, why are you charging so much for a card that I'm not even going to win a tournament with? So yeah, because that card was so expensive, for a casual card, I can imagine Cosmo Destroyer or Dark Destroyer or something like that being 500, because that card was actually really good at the time. It was a really powerful card in the competitive scene. Especially since you didn't have to worry about extra deck monsters, so it helped really well against the what's that the Monarch matchup. But now we're getting into some major details that I'm pretty sure half of the folks here are like, I'm sorry, Lampy, you lost me halfway through. What does any of this mean now? Like, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. Like, I don't know what on earth a Cosmo Dark Destroyer is. It's a 3K monster. Summon it straight from the hand. During the battle phase. If I'm correct, it also had the effect that it couldn't be destroyed by battle or targeted. So, yeah, that was also a pretty strong effect. Hold on a minute. What just happened here? Okay, the music's back on track. Alright, so we got this one done. We just got 3 more to go. Not gonna lie, this actually took a lot longer than I had anticipated. I thought this would have been done real quick. One and done, no problem. And then we move on to every other step, but I forgot this was 9 frames. And I think that's the part that's really, really kicking, is that we gotta make 9 whole frames. Basically, we're going through this fire step 9 whole times. And yeah, I honestly didn't think about that. I thought I would have been able to finish off the fire today, in all honesty. But that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. That's just how the cookie crumbles. It also reminds me I need to talk to somebody about sending me a reference sheet for the redeem, because they redeemed, okay, so funny enough, they redeemed a project for a belated birthday present. And the only problem is they told me that, yeah, I wanted to make this art piece for somebody for the birthday. I don't know who this person is. So now I need to go back to them and say, okay, so I'm getting ready to start the project soon. I need a reference. Several were almost done streams later. Okay, listen. I thought I was done, but something else pops up halfway through. I thought I had it. It looked like we were nearly finished multiple times. And then something else comes to mind, like, wait, I could do this, let me add that, let me draw it here. I could just finish this off right now, but then there's this, let me add that, and then this, and here, there. You know what, let me try something new. And then, yeah, that's still on me for thinking I was almost done. Look, if I say that I'm almost done, eventually it'll be true once. It'll eventually be true. That's my mindset on it. If I keep looking at the end, yeah, if I keep looking at the finish line, I'll eventually cross it. Like how I am with the Model reveal. I'm so close. I'm so freaking close. The model reveal is right around the corner. Oh, do you have to send... Oh, let's see. I do have to send you my own reference for that art... Oh, do I have to send you my own reference for that art project? Probably that too. That too. Send me the... yeah, send me your art reference for that project as well. Yo, Metrex, welcome on in. Let's give you a shout out. How be the workins? Also, how be the leg? I hope it's healing. Folks, go check out Metrex. They play a good variety of games. It's a very funny stream over there. Their mod bullies them like crazy. It's a good time. Accept it. Punching. Punch this. Bang. No, wait. Ah. Gun didn't fire. Hold on a minute. Let me try this again. There we go. Alright, back to the drawing at hand. Now, what was I talking about again? I forgot. I don't know whose emotes those are, but they got some amazing emotes right there. Not gonna lie. Like a whole punch animation emote, that's actually pretty phenomenal. Yeah. That's actually pretty stupendous. Also, the eye bug out emote is also pretty. What was I talking about again? I don't remember. Actually, I was talking about a lot of things, and I forgot half of them already. Yeah, you know what? That's okay. Don't worry about it. I will say, I'm looking forward to D&D tomorrow, and hopefully, I pray to God on this one that my dice rolls don't suck. Because last time, I couldn't get anything above a 10. I could not get a single number above 10. Even with the stat, even with the stat advantages, anything above 10 was just an absolute no-go. It was just, no. Absolute fail on that. So, I'm hoping for the best this next time around. I think I may have laughed too. Yeah, I think I may have laughed too much today. Either that or talked too much today. Because now there's something. There's something up, and now I gotta clear my throat every like 30 seconds. I don't know what it is about laughing. That I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But folks, has this ever happened to you? Where you laugh too much in one day, and now you just gotta clear your throat for like the next 30 minutes or so? Or is that just a me thing? I get headaches when I laugh too much. Ah, fair. Not gonna lie, I'm glad that I don't have that issue, but that is unfortunate to hear. But on the upside, it sounds like it was a very funny situation. Not the headaches part, but whatever was going on, it sounds like it was very, very funny. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. That's my guess on it. It sounds like it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If it doesn't give you a headache, it wasn't that funny. Pretty much fair, fair. Oh, there was another thing I was thinking about. So, I've been thinking about the boss fight stream that I gotta do soon. My guess is that it might either be this coming month, this coming April, or maybe May. Or just to save myself some, save myself some time. Maybe even June. Just like get everything ready, get everything prepared, and then just take a month for myself to just sit back and chill for a moment while I wait for the day to roll on in. But the other thing that came to mind, I was told about, what's it called? I was told about, actually speaking during the next boss fight stream, and I thought, I'm currently sitting here thinking to myself, what do I even say during that stream? That's the one thing that I'm trying to figure out, like, what would I say? I mean, especially since I'm going to be, I feel like that's going to be the biggest struggle of, trying to speak during that boss fight stream is trying to speak while trying to focus on everything else, because I'll definitely tell you, the last time I did a boss fight stream, it felt like running a ship. It felt like it felt like literally running an actual map. Because my head was bobbing all over the place. I was looking at the bottom screen, I was looking at the top screen, I was looking at whatever folks were saying in the chat. I was looking at what other cards were drawn. I was going back to the screen, placing where the cards were, trying to set up I also had to go back to the setting up all the polls so people could choose which card. There was a lot that I was trying to go through. And then I also had to roll dice, so there was a lot going on, in all honesty. Yeah, you know what? I just realized I never really did talk too much about the background stuff. So, folks, yeah, I guess right now could be a good time to talk about things. So, or like how the experience was last time. So, what was required to do that boss fight stream was having the Twitch, control panel open, having the OBS open. Okay, so for the Twitch panel was to set up, voting polls for people to choose what card, and if they wanted to save a card, that sort of thing. If they wanted to use a card. The second thing was rolling the dice to see what points were dropped, how much damage was needed to be calculated, drawing the actual cards to see, which ones actually popped up and what do I need to put on the poll. And so I'm trying to think, like, how would I go about this? Because I feel like even if I did have the opportunity to talk, I'm not going to be able to say a lot. Because my mind is going to be like, okay, well, let's get that, let's get that, let's get that. Okay, we got pop. Let's put here, let's put there. I mean, granted, to be fair, typing in the chat, or yeah, I myself typing in the chat also made things rather, I don't know, that's the other thing. Like typing in the chat and on the screen, that was a lot. I'll figure it out. Improv? Now I want to hear that joke so funny it gives you a headache. That's a good question. What sort of joke would have somebody laughing that hard? I feel like it's one of those things where, you know what? I don't know. If they know, awesome. If not, that's honestly fair. If it's not a joke that could be said on Twitch, also very fair. As I can definitely say, I've seen my fair share of jokes that, ooh, you could not say those ones on the internet. Which is ironic, because my brother watches them on YouTube. So I guess you can't say them on the internet. It's just can't say them on Twitch. Or, well, actually, how do they get away with saying them on YouTube now that I think about it? I always thought, like, oh yeah, you can't get away with a joke like that. I see them getting away with jokes like that all the time. Like, huh. How'd they get away with that? That's crazy. Yeah, now that I really think about it, how are they getting away with that? Yeah, maybe they don't get YouTube money. In which case, that would make a lot more sense. Obviously, I'm not going to say what any of those jokes are because, self-explanatory. Although right now I'm also on the fence. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do after the stream. And I'm on the fence about this one. I can either A, play One Step from Eden, B, play a little more Elden Ring in the background, or C, just continue working on the car model. Oh, right, I should probably show something. Folks, for those of you that are here, I'm going to show you what I've been working on in the background. If you were in the Discord, you probably saw it. If you were in some other folks' Discords, you probably saw it. But, I'm going to show you something right quick. One of the final pieces to the big model reveal event that I've been working on. Let's go to this part here. This is still a work in progress, by the way. This part here is still a work in progress, but yeah. Hey, see, there we go. That one right there. We got car model. Yeah, we got car model in the works. It's gonna be a bit of a while, but that one's almost there. I wish I was cool to join the Discord. W. But yeah, if you folks want to join the Discord, just put exclamation point. Discord? Yeah. But yeah, just been working on this thing in the background. And as I'll definitely tell you, this is as much as I can show for right now. But good lord, there have been so many things I've been working on. Maybe it won't be as impressive. Or yeah, maybe it might be more impressive. Maybe it won't be as impressive as I'm assuming. But I can definitely tell you, there was a lot of work that went into so many things. Share your art in the Discord? Yeah, share your art in the Discord. Unless you're talking about me, in which case I already put this one in the Discord. But yeah. We got all this going on. Also, ad starts in 10 seconds. And let me tell you, this is only the beginning stage. We still got a couple more animations to add to this. There's so many moving parts. Oh, you thought this one had moving parts. Like I said, one, this one ain't even finished yet. And two, this is only a small section of the whole... This is only a small section of the whole thing I got brewing in the background. We got so much more to go. Like I said, this is only a POV. Yeah, this is only an asset for the Birds 2.0 model. Like the Birds second version. And let me tell you, we put a lot of animations in the Birds second version. There was a lot of animations. There was a lot of updates to the model rigging and all of that. So look forward to that. But this one, not gonna lie, surprisingly enough, this one was easier to work on. Everything that you see right here, right now, all of that, okay, all of the rigging there was done in a day. The art, on the other hand, that took a couple of, that took like a week or two. But yeah. The rig, I want to say it's going to take me about a week. I want to say the only thing that's going to take me the most work is the fire again. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I showed this part off enough. We're going to leave that one behind for now. We're going to leave that one behind for now, but let me tell you, one thing, rest assured, that will be back for the big event, and that will be back for future streams, especially the gaming streams. As for what I'm going to do in those gaming streams, I don't know. Oh, that reminds me, I need to buy, what's it called? What's that one game? Titanfall? I need to buy Titanfall. Not on... okay, I've learned my lesson. If there's any game that is from EA, I'm gonna buy it secondhand and never on Steam. Never again. 'Cause I'll be honest, EA can suck it. Anyway. Let me see. Oh, we're almost finished with this frame. I need to specifically emphasize that we're almost finished with this frame, not the whole piece. We got a long way to go with the whole piece. Especially since I thought, this shouldn't take too long. It'll be easy. Yeah, no, this fire is taking me forever. Also, Sweesadol, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. I got so distracted I forgot to do the greeting. I apologize. Now, what on earth was I going to do for Sunday, though? Okay, since the Millennium Puzzle thing isn't going to be on Sunday, I already know what I'm going to do for Sunday, then. Sunday! More one step from eating, because I need a day to just sit back and relax. That's the best way for me to put it. I just need a day. So, one step from eating. Why? Because I really like that game. That's the only reason I have, and I'll be honest, that's the only reason I need. All right, next frame. Whew, we're almost there. Just 2 more frames to go for the orange. Then we make the yellow and the cream part. Obviously, we'll leave those for another day, though. Hold on a second. Okay, I don't need to sneeze like I thought I'd. No need to apologize, Lampy. I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, I'm honored. And I'm glad that you enjoy this space. I'm always glad to hear, and I'm always perplexed to know. Now, I ran out of conversation topics. That's okay. Something will brew. Something will pop up later down the road. In the meantime, we're just going to work more on this here thing. Yeah, I'm tired today. I need sleep. But I need to stay up. I need to stay up just a little bit longer. Just a little bit more. I'm going to give it at least 1 more hour, hour and a half. Actually, no. I'm going to at least try to finish this stuff. Maybe work on some of the yellow. Not entirely certain yet. I don't know. I'll figure it out along the way. Oh, right. Also, it's going to be a late night. Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be. I mean, to be fair, it's always a late night. So that's honestly reasonable. But on the upside, that means a good number of folks may not miss out today. As I know, you know what's crazy, though? You know what's crazy? How do I put it? There are times where I end the stream around 11 p.m. sometimes even midnight. And when I'm thinking midnight, you know, that's probably where, you know, everybody's asleep. We could call it here. Right before I'm about to call it, one person rolls on in like, hey, I finally made it to a stream. Like, it's midnight. Dang. Like, I thought everybody was asleep at this hour. Maybe you should end it by playing Garbanzo Quest. Trying to think. What These Nuts joke is Garbanzo Quest? Feel like this is the D's Nuts joke. And since I can't figure this one out, what's Garbanzo Quest? It's not a D's Nuts joke? Oh, really? Alright, then what's Garbanzo Quest? No, I'm awake, just drawing my B-Day art so I can post it next week. Yo, congrats! And happy birthday next week. That's completely fair. I don't know. For me personally, I always just assume that everybody's asleep because, you know, it's pretty late it's pretty late in the night. That's the only, or I'll be honest, that's the only reason. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. If anything, I always like to let everyone know. Like, you gotta take care of things. You gotta go get rest. Go get that rest. Do what I don't. Which is get sleep. But yeah. Whenever I talk about these things, do not worry there, folks. No one ever has to feel like obligated to speak up or any of that sort of stuff. If you're just lurking in the background while I'm trying to figure things out, do not worry. But if you feel like speaking up, that is entirely up to you, and I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I'm just talking personally, like, about that last part where it's like, just when I think like everybody's asleep, and it's like, all right, it's time to call it a night because I've been working a lot. I think it's time for me to hit the hay. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, there's just always that one person that shows up right on time for the stream to end. And I'm like, now, I feel bad. That's the part that sucks the most. I'm like, no. It's not that they showed up late, it's that I'm ending right now. That's the part that I feel bad about. Like, if I had the mental energy right now, I'd probably go for another 30 minutes so they don't feel so bad. But I'm like, but I gotta go. I gotta hit the hay. My brain is too fried to think. There's nothing more I can do. That's the part that usually gets me, is like whenever my brain fries or I gotta take care of other things in the background. Like, if I could, I probably would stay for longer. Which, that also reminds me, I know a lot of people that end up streaming for like God knows how many hours, and it's just a regular stream for them. And I'm thinking, how on earth do you do it? Like, I understand like 12-hour stream, 24-hour stream, 16-hour stream, usually being like a special event, like, all right, to commemorate this, or for like a donathon or a streamathon or something like that, or, you know, like birthday event. It's usually, we're gonna stream for God knows how long until my eyes peel out of my head. And then there's those folks that are like, I go to sleep while they're streaming, I wake up, whole new day, they're still streaming. I'm like, holy cow, you're still up? What's the occasion? What occasion? Huh? Like, oh yeah, no, it's just Tuesday. What's up with you? Where do you get the strength to do this? Where do you get the energy And where can I get it? Can I have your energy? Give me your energy. Give me your energy right now. I don't know how you're streaming for 16 hours on a Wednesday, but give me your energy right now. I need that. I need that energy. I don't know how you do it. Like, I die in 9 hours. And there's some folks out there that are able to pull this off for like a good 16 hours on the regular. I'm like, how are you doing that? That's not possible. Let's see. I'm constantly confusing Mio. Oh, yeah. I'm constantly confusing Mio with Cameron, the Corgi, just because they both have Corgi in their name. Ah, fair, fair, fair. Okay, I usually call one of them Mio, and then I call the other one Cam. I usually don't call either one of them Corgis, in all honesty. You know, it is surprisingly enough, that similarity to both of them completely gets skipped when they show up here. Like, I completely skip both names. Or I completely skip the Corgi part of both names. I just start with the first name. All right, let's see. And they both watch this stream. That's also true. And there's Ludwig, who did a month-long stream. How on earth do they do that? Okay, when it comes to, yeah, for Ludwig to do, yeah, okay, I've heard of Ludwig, and I will definitely say, one, where do they get the energy? I want that energy. Give me the energy to do that. Also, give me some of that money too, because I know they're loaded. Anyway, they're more loaded. Yeah, they're more loaded than this gun. I kind of want some of that money too. Anyway, oh, wrong one. Okay, back there, and then we're good. Okay, let's also save, because I forgot the last time I saved. Okay. Some people can just sit in place and talk for hours and they're fine. See, that part too. I don't know how people are able to do the talking part for hours without, you know, some sort of activity in the background. That one, I definitely commend them on that one for, because, okay, I know, you know what's funny? There's a lot of people that tell me that streaming and chatting, or drawing and chatting, they're impressed that I could pull that off no problem. Like streaming and chatting, or, you know, talking and chatting. I'm just sitting here like, I do the drawing because I'm going to run out of things to talk about. Anyone who could just sit there and chat all day, no activity behind it, I think that's impressive. Because at least with the drawing, there's something that lets my mind blank out for a minute. Just think about things as I go along. And if I run out of things to talk about under normal circumstances, I could at least talk about the art. I could at least talk about what I'm doing. This is one of the rare occasions where I can't talk about what I'm doing, mostly because what am I supposed to say? Let's just lasso that, let's lasso that, let's lasso that, and then it just goes on and on and on and on and on like that. Imagine me just saying, all right, we're just going to add the lasso to this part of the shape for 4 hours straight. Nah. That's going to be a very irritating stream after a while. Might as well be saying I might as well just be talking nonsense after that point. Might as well just be saying something about popcorn. You know what I'm talking about. You know the NPC streams on the TikToks. I think that's what they were called. I don't know. All right, let's see. Load the gun up with the money. Oh, load the gun up with the money, man. Yeah, exactly. You just walk up, like, I don't want any trouble. Put the money in the gun. Don't you mean put the money in the bag? I know what I said. Imagine trying to keep a conversation with 200k chatters live. Who's got 200k chatters? I've heard of people who had like 20k No, wait, I remember there's at least one person that I know of that had at least 100 and something on their channel live. I think he was doing like a, what is his name? I sent it? Something like that. Anyway, I remember my brother watching that one. I'm just looking at the number down there, like 100 and something K on your channel. People are like 100 and K people are watching this dude's channel right now. Good Lord, that's a lot of people. It also feels like a lot of pressure. All right, let's see. It's a lot more Kai CNUT than Kai Senate. Oh. CNUT. Wait, is that his name? CNUT? Okay, fair. I always thought it was Senate. Although I will also say, always look at those parts like, huh. Like, think, you know, considering how much, like, getting that #1 spot for #1 subbed, I'll definitely say, looking at that number, the only thing I could think is, that number, multiply that by 5, cut that. I was going to say cut that in half, and then I remembered, in order to get to that number, you probably a partner on Twitch, so take 75, yeah, take 70 out of that cut, or yeah, take 30 out of that cut. That's a lot of freaking money, like, good Lord. Dude. Like, folks, I feel like if you could get I feel like if you could become the #1 Twitch subbed channel, I think you got it made for life. You never have to, I don't think you would ever have to stream another day after that. Like, you could just say, you know what? We made it. #1 title. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything else. I'm gonna go buy me a farm right now. Y'all have a great life. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like, that sounds like, you know, it just like, you could either live it up, live it big, have that big rich life while you continue your career, or you could just shut everything down right then, right there, live on a farm. Never have to worry another day in your life. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at that thinking, I would. Yo, D, welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Folks, if you haven't seen D Caddy, I highly recommend that you do. They play a good variety of games. Really great voice. If I'm correct, if I'm correct, you either do voice acting or the singing. I think it's the voice acting. Either way, really awesome streams over there. And how were things? How was for King 2? What is for King 2? And everybody stopping by from D Caddy's stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. I am currently working on a fire animation. This is taking a lot longer than I had anticipated. I was surprised about today. I thought, fire, easy, done, no problem. Turns out, filling up an entire screen full of fire is a lot more work than anticipated. But we're getting there. Definitely getting there. And good to see it there. Carrick the Big. D-Caddy. I need to dip. I need to go to work. All right, no worries, no problem. Thank you for stopping by. I thank you greatly for the raid, and I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, a great week, and a great time at work. Best of luck out there, buddy. You got this. All right, let's see. What was I looking for again? Oh, right. Okay, let me see. I don't know who they are other than stream count. That's all you really need to know, in all honesty, is that they are big streamer. Or, yeah, the Kai Senate. They, big stream. They got a lot of celebrities on their channel. And right now, they hold the title for, most subbed. I'm just thinking, that is freaking impressive. I think it's like in the 300K, the 400K. I'm not entirely sure. But that's what I'm looking at. Like 400K, Multiply that by 5. Okay, maybe you can't live your entire life off of that, but that's still a lot right there. I mean, I guess you could live your entire life off of that if you knew how to invest it properly. In which case, then all you got to do is well, just find a steady place. And then boom, there you go. Actually, yeah, no, I mean, 400k, multiply that by 5, you could at least still buy that farm. I think. Or at least some sort of shack. No, wait, that's like 400k times... Again, 400k times 5... yeah, times 5. That's still a lot of money. Yeah, you could buy yourself a decent building of some sort. If only. Anyway. Back to the drawing at hand. I don't know, I'd usually just think about those parts like, dang, think about all that money. Well, a bug can dream. Bug can certainly dream. Oh, that was the other part. I forgot to read the rest of the parts. I just saw the work part. Let's see. The strategy tabletop game, like adventure game. Oh, that actually sounds pretty cool. I mean, I know they already went to work and all, but still, that sounds pretty cool. Wait, I think I may have seen... No, wait. Maybe? I'm starting to think. Like, maybe I saw a friend play For the King once. I think that's the part where... Yeah, I think I saw a friend play For the King once. Part where they had giant spiders, and then their chat started telling them to milk the spiders. Twitch is a weird place. That's all I can really say. Twitch is a weird place. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Twitch, yeah, that's it. All right, let's see. I would love to have that dream. Same. I could definitely tell you this ain't no way I'm ever making it that big, but can definitely dream. Although, to be fair, at the same time, there are certain points where I'm like, I wouldn't want to reach. I wouldn't want to reach those heights. I would just want that money, though. I would want to still be down. I would want to still be down here while having that kind of money. There we go. That's the best way to put it. I don't want to be a king. I just want to have king money. Let's see. Sounds like your average Tuesday on Twitch. Yeah, essentially. You're not wrong. That is an average Tuesday on Twitch. Like the things that you see on this this channel, or not this channel, the things you see on this site. That's what I mean. The things you see on this site makes you wonder, how did they get away with so much? All right, let's see. Pushing Lampy to partner? Oh yeah, we're not getting a partner anytime soon. Although, you know what? Before I thought partner, what do I need partner for? If they, if you don't get that 40, yeah, that 40-30 cut, I see no purpose for it. And then I find out if you get partner, you at least, or not, that 70-30 cut. I was looking at like, well, if I'm not getting the 70-30 cut, what do I want partner for? And then I hear like, if you reach partner, it's still at least a 60-40 cut. And that part made me think, okay, you know what? Partner seems reasonable again. So long as we're getting more than a 50-50 cut, I would actually be okay with that. I would just have to remember. Don't let it go to my head. That's also the other reason why I wouldn't want partner. I'm like, I don't want this stuff to go to my head. I mean, if I just try to remember to stay humble, I think I should be okay. But at the same time, you never know. One of those things, it might start to creep into you, like how depression creeps up on you. Maybe vanity or pride will also creep up on you like that. Like you won't realize that, you know, you're acting higher than mighty until it's too late, and then you realize, oh, yeah, it's not a good sign. Also, if you heard any pouring sound, that was cranberry juice. Like, no, that's not a joke. It actually is cranberry juice. Trust me, if I'm drinking liquor, I would tell you. Like that one stream where I was just drinking nothing but wine. That was a fun stream. I need to get another bottle of wine just for the heck of it. Obviously, I'm not going to down the whole bottle. Because then Twitch would definitely get mad at me if I passed out. Alright, so we got that frame done. Last frame. Yeah, last frame of the day. Let's also switch out these earphones. Earphone, do the thing. There it is. All right, one more frame to go. And I also need to rename these frames later. But for right now, this'll do. Although it also reminds me, the whole partner talk, I forgot about that. That also reminds me, I needed to prepare an event for April. Not for partner pushing and all of that, but I did want to set up an event, like, set up redeems, set up things that I can do, set up like a longer stream event, like a whole weekend event thing. Because I feel like it's been a while since I've done that, mostly because since I kind of been doing the monthly week thing, I haven't really been able to do a lot of, you know, weekend events. And I know, I have been saying that I struggle with coming up with incentives for event stuff. But it has been a while, so maybe I could come up with some ideas. Maybe I could come up with some things to do. This would also give me the opportunity to do a bunch of community nights in one weekend. Like Get Risk of Rain 2, Get Fork Knife. I don't know what the other event was going to be. Maybe I would just do some more drawing. I don't know. But yeah, this would give me the opportunity to actually be able to play those games with folks and all of that. So I need to set up that event. New incentive. Reset Lampy Made redeem cost. Right, I need to remember to put that one. Alright, let me see. Reset. No, wait, that's conversation topic book. I need idea book. Idea book is this one. Let me also write that down here. This one is idea book. Where is my marker? Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. This one here, idea book. Book. There we go. All right. All right, here we go. Because 100K is too taxing? I mean, that's the point. The point is to get it to be almost impossible for people to redeem it now. All right, let me see. So, next idea. Reset. Made redeem. There we go. All right, and the redeem has been set. Or the idea has been set. We're gonna set that one up. We're gonna set the... Should I put the Cult of the Lamb as an option again? I don't know about that one. I think I'll leave Cult of the Lamb on the table. And come up with some other ideas. Let's see, what other games could we add as a redeem or as a goal? Figure it out. Probably another game where I'll probably end up hating myself. Maybe Jump King. Actually, okay, you know what's funny about Jump King? I feel like I wouldn't hate that one as much as what's it called? What's that one game? I feel like I wouldn't hate that one as much as Getting Over It. Mostly because of one reason and one reason alone. There's nobody talking in your ear in Jump King. There's nobody telling you some insufferable stuff that's supposed to motivate you. But in all reality, it gets under your skin and makes you want to punch a person in the face. So the only thing you have is the quiet of, you know, watching the person just fall all the way down. So I feel like, you know, making a major loss in Jump King just feels horrible still, while making a major loss and Getting Over It leads you back to that dude, and then it just makes you want to punch something. I mean, if you folks were there for the Getting Over It stream, you heard me say some of the most hateful things you could possibly imagine to tell a person. Like how their family left them on purpose. Stuff like that. And how they, or I hope they step on Legos. Or that somebody sneaks a Lego into their shoe every morning. Very hurtful thing. This is how you know you don't, this is how you know you don't like a person. If you wish for them to step on a Lego every day. That's when you know a game brought out the darkest side of you. And I can definitely tell you, that game brought out the darkest side of me right there. Okay, close. Close. Oh, I was gonna say, the darkest side? Not quite, because I didn't go as far as I would, as far as I could. I still tried to find ways to be very hurtful. Alright, let's see. Apparently, funny enough about those streams is that while I was saying some of the most hurtful things, people were catching strays. So they were not pointed at them. Apparently, there was AoE damage. I thought, you know what? That's how you know you started saying some really hurtful things, when other people around you that weren't even, even though those words weren't even directed at them, they felt hurt just hearing it. Alright, let's see. Your insults to Bennett were so toxic, it had AoE effect damage, chat as well. Or yeah, affecting chat as well. Yeah, basically, that's what I was saying. Like, see, Ryu already mentioned it before I even got to that point. Alright, I remember Markiplier threw a chair against the wall and broke his chair while playing Getting Over It. See, that's the thing about Getting Over It. It's not even so much it's not even so much what is being said, or yeah, it's not even so much what's going on and how difficult the game is that when you get to your lowest point, he's there, haunting you in the most stick up his own butt type of way possible. That's how pretentious that taunting was. Like, it's one of those times where, you know, when you lose in that game, when you fail at something in that game and you fall all the way back to the bottom, it's a situation where everyone around the room, you know, full well, don't say anything. Just let them process for a minute. And they know full well what they're doing when they add the dialogue whenever you fall. Because they know you don't want to hear anything from anybody. That's when they give you dialogue. That's when the person decides to speak. And just talking about this is already making the blood boil. Something is rising, and it's making me want to... It makes me want to break a fan. Yeah, I just saw what was the first object in the room, and I just saw a fan. I'm like, part of me wants to swing that fan just talking about it. So that's how you know, like, that's one of those games that just knows how to get under your skin. Other games are difficult. This one gets under your skin. Again, this is why I can handle Dark Souls, this is why I can handle a Souls game no problem. Granted, I'll be slightly frustrated, but I won't be absolutely angry or livid or just want to insult somebody. This is why I was able to deal with the Orphan Cause somewhat calmly. But that game does things to a person. That game makes you want to kick a puppy. Or find out where his house is. That's the best way to put it. That game wants you... Yeah, that game makes you want to hunt up down a person. It's like, I don't know who you are, Bennett. I don't know where you live. But if you keep talking, I'm gonna find out. Also for safety, safety reasons, Twitch, this is a joke. Before anyone gets up in arms, before Twitch starts to have a hissy fit, this is a joke. We are not actually going to go out there and look for somebody. I don't have the time, energy, or money, or the will. Or, there we go. I don't have the time, the money, the energy, or the lack of common sense to actually do something like that. So Twitch, for clarification, this is a joke. And the fact that I feel like I always have to say this is a very disheartening thing. But I'm a very cautious person. That's the best way to put it. I've been cautious. Someone put it best once. And you know what? I'll take that word with pride. I'm a very paranoid person. You know, one person actually told me a long time ago, like, how can you live your life so paranoid like that? I'm like, with security. I can live my life with the security of knowing that I'm taking the proper precautions. Like, for every little thing, yes. I'd rather to take the necessary precautions than to mess around and find out. More paranoid than Light Yagami? Not that paranoid, because I know my life ain't in danger. We ain't at that road yet. Alright, let's see. You want to hunt someone down in Minecraft? Yeah, essentially, in Minecraft. Yeah, I'll totally hunt down Bennett something in Minecraft. But yeah, I can't be as paranoid as Light Yagami because one, I don't have the brain power for that. That's the main essential thing is I don't have the brain power to be as paranoid. And luckily, I don't have people hunting me down every second of the day. At least I don't think I do. Unless... Well, now that just made me think of something entirely different. What if there are people hunting me down? What if people are watching me right now? I see you. I see you. You can't tell me you're not there. I know people are watching. I know the FBI agent is behind that screen. Anyway. Speaking of Minecraft, you saw those official Jack Black Steve dolls? I did not see Jack Black Steve dolls, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. How is it? Also, is anybody going to watch that Minecraft movie? Like, does anybody have the mental fortitude to watch it? Or is there anyone out there who actually thinks it's going to be a good movie? Serious question, by the way. If there's someone out there that actually thinks it's going to be a good movie, please let me know. And no, this is not a condescending question. I mean, like, legitimately. Like, if there actually is, like, some good parts that no one's talking about, I would actually legitimately like to know. Like, if there's someone who actually thinks, like, yeah, I'm going to watch it, I think it might be a good movie. Like, really? Please elaborate. As far as I know, nobody thinks that yet, but you never know. There might be one person out there. Which also reminds me, I know the one person that said that they were going to go watch it with their kid. And I thought, well, I legit told them, like, you know what? You're a really good parent for taking your kid to see that movie. Also, I'm sorry for your loss. I hope it's tolerable, at least. Because I don't know, there's a lot of factors behind it where I'm just like, why didn't you just make Steve, why didn't you just make, okay, I know why they did it, but still, because of, like, facial recognition, publicity and all of that, but come on, just make him the square. Just make him a square. Granted, this movie, it's not going to help the case of the movie, but it's going to make it a little less bad. I don't know. There's just something about this movie that just feels cheap. I don't know. I feel like it's like one of those things where they saw, hey, it worked for Five Nights at Freddy's. It worked for Super Mario. It worked for Sonic. Why not Minecraft? People love Minecraft. Oh, God. You know what this means, right? Whether it works or not, there's going to be a Fortnite movie. Now, they can either go about it two ways. They can either go the Minecraft route for Fortnite, or they can go the Arcane route. I doubt they're going to go the Arcane route, but you never know. Never know. If I'm correct, I heard that there's a story in Fortnite. Like, there's actual lore in Fortnite. Like, for every season and all of that, maybe? Like, in-game characters having in-game stories and those stories progressing little by little. So, there's a possibility that, they could use the stories that they have from those characters and actually implement it into a movie and it might actually turn out good. Or they go the Minecraft route. You never know. Just never know. Now, given the collabs, Fortnite will be another Ready Player One. Ah, yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, now that you bring up the part about the collabs, they could even go down a Wreck-It Ralph route. Don't get me wrong. I was not a fan of Wreck-It Ralph. I was not a fan of it because, I'll be honest, I was there for the references. They advertised it as a video game movie. Turns out it was a story about, how do I put it? Turns out it was a story about two misfit characters. Which, don't get me wrong, if it was advertised to be that, I feel like the movie would have... I mean, granted, the movie still exploded in popularity. I feel like it would have been better without the references. Because that's just false advertisement. You only get the video game references for like the first 20 minutes of the... first 10 minutes of the movie. I don't know. And then the rest of it has nothing to do with them anymore. It's like its own standalone movie. I'm like... Yeah, I felt lied about Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that felt like false advertisement. Or at least a cheap bait and switch. There we go. It was a bait and switch. They baited you with the video game references, and then they take it away to give you a kind of a generic story. Yeah, kind of a generic story. All right, hold on a second. Let's take these sketches. Delete that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. All right, let's check this out. All right, we got the base colors for the fire. We got all of that set. We got all of that ready. All that's left now is to work on the, the inside. Well, first, we're going to need to work on the inside colors. Like the yellow, like I mentioned before, the yellow and the... Yeah, we need to work on the yellow. We need to work on the lighter yellow. We got two different shades of yellow that we need to add to this. And then we need to add the glow and then the figure that's standing in front of it. But we'll leave that one for a different time. Excuse me. Anyway, we'll leave that for a different time. It's almost 12. So I'm just going to call it here. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. And yeah, let's find someone to raid. I will be back tomorrow for... No, wait, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I will be back on Sunday to play One Step from Eden because... I don't know, I just want to play that game again. Anyway. And if you are here just for the art streams, I will be back on Tuesday to work on this one again. We will finish off the... We're going to try to finish off the inside of the flame and then add the glow effects. So you can see the, the final set. Not gonna lie, I feel like the part that takes the most time is the little sparks that fly up, little embers. I feel like that's the part that's taking the most time when it comes to this flame animation, is those little yellow parts. Because, not gonna lie, I just realized it right now, we added a lot of those little things in the background. We added a lot of little flame sparks just flying from the base flame. I feel like if it was just the base flame, this would have moved a lot faster, but it's those little ones that took a lot of time out of us. But to be fair, actually, I just realized one other thing. I might have went a little overboard on that. Now, why do I say I went a little overboard? Well, because this is supposed to be an emote, which means you're not really gonna see... Yeah, I'm looking at this now. I just realized you're not really gonna see them in the background all that much. You just barely. You're not gonna see too much of it. However, we're already at this point. No point in calling it quits now. Or yeah, no point in simplifying it now. We're already here. We're already at the halfway point of this project. So, yeah, gonna keep it as is. Just gonna keep going with it. Let's save this for now. Push that button again. Now let's go find someone to raid at the Sour. I know someone we could raid. They're currently playing Urban Jungle. And it's usually the other way around. They're usually raiding us at this time. And mostly because we usually stream very late. But in the rare cases, they stream very late. I always like to drop people off over there. We're going to go drop people off with a Lofi Explorer. They have some of the chillest of streams. Really great time over there. Like if you ever needed streams to help you sleep, this is a good one. And in case you're wondering, no, this is not an insult. This is literally the point of their streams, is to help you sleep. They're trying to give the most comforting environment you could possibly imagine. And so, yeah. So let's drop you folks off at the Lofi Explorer. Oh, right. Before I go though, folks, if you would like to support the channel, one good way you could do so is by checking out the link page right over here. We got a lot of different options, which we'll probably get into that one after we do the raid message here. So let's put this raid. Right, we got to put slash. And there we go. No, wait. Ah. There we go. If you would like to support the channel, you could go to that link page. Or yeah, you could go to that link right there. Or put exclamation point link to see the link. We got a lot of different options over there. We got affordable models on the Etsy page. We got merch on the Teespring page. We also have free stuff on the coffee page. And if you or someone you know is looking for someone, if you or someone you know is looking for live 2D model stuff, big and small, model art, or just the rig, emotes, assets, character sheets, character concepts, animations, all of that stuff, you can either contact me directly or you could go to the vgen page right over there. Also, we have a throne if you want to help support or expedite the restock of the Lampy plushies. And with that being said, thank you all for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Always remember, you're all awesome in your own way because you folks make these streams, this community what it is. It's awesome chatting with you folks, cracking jokes, brainstorming, all that stuff. And if you lurk, that's great too. The fact that you took the time into your day to have this bug rambling on in the background means more to me than you could possibly imagine. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. With that being said, I hope you all have a good day, good night, better tomorrow, great week, and show all the support to the Lofi. And yeah, that's about it. Got nothing. I'll take care now. Laters.